Hello, what's up, guys? Am I audible? Am I audible? Waiting for everyone to join in and then we can get started. ये ऊपर का इतना ज़्यादा जगह काय ले ले रहा है? ये कौन है जो बोल रहा है प्लीज बी ऑन टाइम? साइलेंट गाय, साइलेंट रहने का ना, साइलेंट गाय, साइलेंट रहने का. व्हाट्स अप मैन? नो साउंड, नो साउंड. लेट मी चेक. साइलेंट गाय, साइलेंट रहने का. व्हाट्स अप मैन? नो साउंड. साउंड तो आ रहा है. देयर इज साउंड, देयर इज साउंड. So yeah, we will be your story gives me more motivation. Thank you. Sound is on, yeah, sound is on. SD shit करने का रे बाबा, तो डर नहीं लगेगा. I'm fine, I'm fine. So today will be a very chill session. Chill in the sense we will solve four problems. Okay, four problems. You might have solved those four problems, but on my experience, I have talked to a lot of people who have recently cracked Amazon. So whoever has recently cracked Amazon, I did find some similarities of questions. So whatever similarities of question I have figured out, that is what we will be discussing. Moreover, today the questions like I found similar in like binary tree is similar, but since I've already brought in a tree series, if you know that, that's why I'll not be doing binary trees. But apart from that, there was a pattern of binary search question which was asked to a lot of people. There was a pattern of BFS on matrix which was asked again to a lot of people. So those pattern I'll be doing two questions of those pattern. That is four questions that I'll that I'll do. And coming across to other stuffs today will be moreover ask me anything if you have anything to ask related to Amazon intern interview, because I'm assuming that a lot of people have Amazon coding round scheduled and a lot of people have Amazon's interview scheduled in the coming month. So yeah, any questions if you have related, you can definitely shout that out across in the chat section. Okay. Someone is asking try series कब आएगा? By the way, I've taught try series in CodeBeyond. Like over here you have couple of try series का ये, and यहाँ पे अगर देख रहा है ये मैंने देख रही है दो, इतने सारे वीडियोस है सिर्फ दो, मतलब दो लेक्चर्स के. These are two lectures का video and you can just check it out. Like I have recorded two lectures as of now. I have to edit it. It's kind of 6 GB 11 GB, तो बहुत ज़्यादा है. तो मुझे मैं I only edit, तो I'll edit it and then I'll post it. Okay, so yeah, let's get started. For everyone out there who is new, I'll give a short introduction to myself. My name is Raj Vikramaditya. I'm a competitive programmer. Currently, I'm working as a software engineer at where I don't know, and I'm a candidate master back in, like, I did achieve that back in 2020. I'm mentioning that because some people are a lot jealous that I mentioned candidate master. So there's a year mentioned just in case you are confused about when I was a candidate master. So I was a candidate master back in 2020, and I was used to be in college as a six star back in 2019, when again I was used to be in college. Then I have been teaching from the past couple of years. Also I run a YouTube channel which has around 1 lakh plus subscribers, goes by the name Take You Forward. And the subject that I primarily take are competitive programming, data structure algorithms, C++, interview preparation. Many a times candidates miss out on great opportunities due to multiple reasons. They did not have a better degree or a poor network. Your resume does not stand out with those 100 others applying for the same startup. We have applied for 50-60 companies but haven't been called for even a single interview. That is where Relevel comes in, which is India's first test hiring platform, by Unacademy, which is helping job seekers find their dream jobs. Now you can get a job basis your skills, and on the basis English kharab hai, on the basis of your skills and talent. You need not depend on any degree or other people in your network. The benefits of participating in this Relevel test are there are over 50 plus companies including top startups and unicorns, around 1,000 plus job openings across business development, front end development, back end development. You can attend this test for free, finish your test in a single day of your choice, and get your Relevel score within a week. With Relevel, you are in a unique position to invite interest for companies instead of hunting for opportunities on your own. Register on Relevel is very easy. Get your dream job in 15 days. India's finest companies are at Relevel and they're hiring. And select the test of your choice. These are the three tests you can select on your choice. Book a slot whenever you feel like. You can use my promo code, which is Driver, in order to get a sample paper. And yes, you can join us on Telegram. By the way, just a disclaimer, in case anything happens with Relevel, I'm not responsible. It's not my company. It is Unacademy's company. Just making it very clear. Anything that is read out by me over here, I will not be responsible if anything happens or anything happens. So any, like, at least me as an educator is not responsible for anything happening. So I'm just making it clear, just in case koi future mein बोले भैया आपने तो बोला था. But yeah, over here I'm just reading it on the behalf of the channel. That's it. And obviously, if you're new to the channel, do consider subscribing, and you can download the PDF as well. ठीक है, बता दिया भाई. बाद में कुछ प्रॉमिस करेंगे, पूरा नहीं करेंगे तो मेरे को नहीं पढ़ना है उस सब में. So yeah, let's come across what are we going to discuss. That's the first question that we will be discussing from Lead Code. So first, I have my interview day after tomorrow for SD1. Any last minute tip? Wish me luck. So let me first open this question so that जिनको करना है वो पहले देख लो. When will DP series come? अरे भाई कितना बार बोलूं, 100 बार पूछने से जब जवाब थोड़ी बदल जाएगा डूड. अब कमेंट में आंसर दे दो इनको. Recently cracked Amazon off campus, joining in 2 weeks SD1. Drank your entire linked list playlist the day before. Thanks for the content. Cool man, yo. Congrats, yo. अरे भैया चार चारों ही कर रखा है तो ठीक है, ड्रॉप कर लो अगर चारों कर लगा है, कोई बात नहीं. लीड कोड है यार, मतलब इट माइट हैपन, यू हैव सॉल्व दोस प्रॉब्लम्स, आई कैन नॉट हेल्प. लीड कोड है ना, मतलब हम हेल्प नहीं कर सकते. नहीं, मैं थोड़ा चेयर को ऊंचा कर लेता हूँ, ये बहुत नीचे हो गया मुझे लग रहा है. ओके, जैकेट कहाँ से ली? इट वाज टेकन फ्रॉम नाइकी स्टोर. ओके, इट्स ठंडी के लिए नहीं है, इट्स फॉर जस्ट स्टाइल मारने तो ले सकते हो, ऐसा ठंडी के लिए नहीं है. Similar to book allocation, yeah. This pattern of question was asked, that is why I picked it up. Anyways, I read the question. For everyone who's done it, you can just leave it. So yeah, I'll tell you one thing. Just remember, guys, one thing. If you're going for an Amazon interview, please make sure you do this, okay? Amazon 14 principles. This is something which you should do. Make sure you do it. There's something known as leadership principles in Amazon. Like, a lot of times I've seen people going to Amazon. They clear all the questions. They answer DSA based questions, and customer obsession, ownership, invent and simplify. These things are something which they don't care about. And see, strive to be Earth's best striver, right? So I'll give you a question. Let's see what answer will you do. Like, I'm giving you a very hypothetical question which might be asked to you. ठीक है, behavioral question मैं एक देता हूँ, देखते तुम लोग क्या आंसर करते हो. So the question is, I'll write the question somewhere. यहाँ पे लिखते हैं, ठीक है. Question है कि assume you and your teammate did a project, ठीक है. You both did a project. At the end of the project, your teammate took away all the applauses. How will you react? What will you do? That's my question. Let's see what answers will you give and what answers I give as an industry person, and you as a student, what answers will you give? Let's see क्या देते हो. 2023 के लिए जनरली अभी नहीं होता. 2023 के लिए Amazon हायर नहीं करता है. It's always for 8 semesters. 8 semester को ही हायर करता है. Let's see what answer do you give. This is the question as a behavioral question. Let's see what answer will you give. These kind of questions are generally asked in Amazon interviews. I'll politely correct him during the presentation. Okay. चले कि 12 बजा दूंगा, ठीक है. As a student, no, as a professional, if this question is asked to you in an interview, as a professional, how will you answer this? मैं टीचर को बोलेगा सी आउटसाइड ओके on a very serious level, what will be your answer? Nothing like don't like, if this question is asked by your manager, then what will you answer? Let go. Okay, Parak says let go. Okay, let's see. First reaction is how we can do, but I'll do it for myself. I'll talk to that person, try to sort things. If that does not work, then I'll approach my manager. Okay, okay. Will be pissed off at first, but will not react at that time, but will inform my manager about it. Okay. Nutan says that. I'll try to pitch in that what all contribution I've made and how we collectively achieved the goal of. Okay, I would cover it up by showing up my contribution. Okay, making that project gave me experience, which is more perfect. That's the answer. Pawan has given the perfect answer. Like that is what in industry people expect you to answer. Not like I'll go and complain to the manager. Okay. Again, Saran has also, it's teamwork, so we can let it go. See, let's understand. When you go to a company, you're not in anymore in school. कि मैम उसने मेरा ले लिया, मम्मी इसने मेरा चॉकलेट खा लिया, चिप्स ले लिया. You are no more in school, right? If you have done a project together, if you have committed your code will always be visible to someone who will be seeing in future, right? अगर तुमने, if you have committed something on GitHub और उनका जो भी होता है internal, that will be visible. What he has committed will always be visible. If in a presentation he takes away all the applauses, that's okay. That's okay. You're no more in school. You're grown up. You should always be like my answer to this will be, it's okay if he takes away all the applauses. If that makes him happy, I'm absolutely okay with it. Yeah, I'll tell him afterwards probably, but nothing. This is not a sort that you'll go and tell the manager. Manager is not a बच्चों का झगड़ा उनको solve नहीं करना है. So this is how you should answer. ठीक है? Don't go and complain to the manager. For everyone who's saying complain to the manager, this is where you get rejected. Because behavior, right? Now Amazon's one of the principles will definitely be for this. See, earn trust, regality, bias vaccine, insist on higher and develop. यहाँ पे नहीं है, invent इनका नहीं है, but ठीक है. So ऐसे questions they might ask you, and depending on this, always answer as an industry guy. Don't answer something as a student, okay? Because we generally tend to answer everything as a perspective of student, which is absolutely wrong. And trust me, I've seen a lot of guys who are excellent in DSA, and they go and they are rejected in behavior wrong. Okay, I've seen one of my friends who is a master at Code Forces. He was asked the question. He said, "I'll like as a manager, अगर तुम्हारा employee काम नहीं कर रहा है तो तुम क्या करोगे?" So he answered, "मैं fire कर दूंगा." So if you answer like this, then there's a problem. You have to always answer in a very crystal way. मतलब बहुत ही sensible way में, polite way में answer करना है. And Amazon's 14 principles का सबसे biggest thing is customer obsession. Customer is always correct, no matter what. Similarly, ownership, you have to just read it. Make sure you read it, and Amazon के जितने questions, read it, and always be polite and humble when you are you using Notion? पता नहीं. I'm using Dynalist. Whenever you're answering it, be polite and answer it always to the point. Okay. Yes, that's Rohit is absolutely correct. Whenever you declare a class in your Amazon or anywhere, you always declare your name created by my name is Raj, created by Raj on so and so date. ठीक है? Create a series on behavioral interview. अरे नहीं उतना भी नहीं. Just I'm giving you a perspective. Just I'm giving you a perspective of how you should behave, and it's not कि तुम्हें ऐसे ही behave मतलब सिर्फ झूठ बोलना है. This is actually how you behave in industry. You don't go and complain every now and then. You're okay. छोटे मोटे चीज को तुमको, you should not react on smaller things, okay? Because those things are tend to happen. Yeah, unless until it is racist, unless until it is bullying, harassing, then you go and complain. But if it's not bullying, harassing, racism, then no need to go and complain. Okay, cool. This is the first question of this question that we will be doing. Let's read the question. Please read the question. I have left it for you, and let me know if you have understood this. सर सीपी में क्वेश्चन नहीं बन रहे, ठीक है, चलेगा. सीपी बनता नहीं है यार, सीपी करना पड़ता है. You have to mug up, or we can just read and use. Yeah, you have to read. Vaibhav, you have to read. Like situations. You have to read situations. Like if you read all these things, you have to understand a lot of situations. A lot of time, what happens is, I'll give you one more example. और एक मैं behavior का question का example दे सकता हूँ, which is asked a lot of time. Managers ask it. Assume you are working on a error or a bug, and you find a bug which was caused by your teammate. What is your first plan of action? Like, it's not your bug, but you have found it. What is your first plan of action? What will be the answer to this if I am asking you in an Amazon round? इसका आंसर क्या होगा? Story form में नहीं आता, but managers tend to ask these kind of questions. Even in Google, if you give Google interview, there's a one complete round. Google में 5 राउंड होते हैं, एक टेलीफोनिक, 5 rounds, 1 telephonic, ठीक है? And in 5 rounds, out of that 1 round is completely on behavior. 30 minutes they give you around 10 questions on behavior. ये होगा तो क्या करोगे, ये होगा तो क्या करोगे. They just give you. I'll try to correct myself, okay? Then inform, I'll try to debug, fix and learn from it, okay? Or discuss with team members or tell him that he did something wrong. Okay, this is again incorrect. Your first plan of action should be just drop him a text. That should be your first plan of action. Who knows, he might be available, so he will take care of it because he's the one who can do it faster. A lot of times what people tend to do is, okay, this is a bug which I can fix, but happens since it is not something which you have done, you end up taking 2 hours. But if the guy is available, you should give him. You should never, like, you should be following with him what he's doing. But if he is there and he is right there available, you should ping him and you should start working on the bug. If he joins, it's okay. If he doesn't join, you should solve. But the first plan of action should be just jabbing him that, hey, this is the bug. If you're available, can you please join me? If he joins, it's okay. Otherwise, you take, like, you just keep on doing your stuff. It's important that you just ping him. But ऐसा नहीं कि पिंग करके भूल जा भाई, उसका चीज है वो देखेगा. पिंग करके अपना करना है, बट पिंग करना जरूरी है, ठीक है? Don't ask your teammate to resolve it. Polite. Can you please come and join me? Polite. Always polite answers. Like, I'll drop him a text that I found this bug and bug. I have found this bug. I'm working on this. It should not be like, I found this bug. This code is written by you. You should fix this. Please come and join. ऐसे नहीं. I have found a bug on this class. So I'm trying to fix it. If you are available, can you please join? तुम्हें बता देना इस क्लास में, उस बंदे को पता है उस क्लास वो उसने लिखा है, उसको बोलना नहीं पड़ेगा भाई तेरा कोड है, बग आया तेरे कोड में. ऐसे नहीं बोला जाता है. नेवर एवर टेल अ टीममेट तेरा कोड में बग आया है. उसको हमेशा बोलना चाहिए कि हमारा कोड है, इस क्लास में बग आया है. इट शुड ऑलवेज बी लाइक दिस. सो दिस इज वेर यू से ओनरशिप. जरूरी नहीं कि उसने कोड लिखा है तो उसी का कोड है. इट शुड ऑलवेज बी आवर कोड. जस्ट टेल इन द क्लास, ही विल पोलाइटली नो. देयर इज नो नीड टू पिन पॉइंट कि भाई तेरा कोड है, तू गलत है. ऐसा नहीं करना है, ठीक है? Got it? You have to always, informing also has a pattern of behavior. When you are informing the teammate, I know you want to inform in a very good way, but क्या होता है ना, हम लोग बहुत बार inform करते हुए बोल देते हैं, अरे भाई वो तूने कोड लिखा था ना, वो उसमें थोड़ा एरर आ रहा है, तो उसमें ना किसी को दिल पे लग सकता है. Someone might feel bad कि मेरे कोड में गलत, वो बोल रहा है मेरा कोड गलत है. तो इसलिए we have to be very careful when we are speaking. We should always be like, हमारे कोड में गलत है, हमारे कोड में. Ownership. Okay, this is where we will always have ownership. Got it? So always make sure you should not pass in a sentence which is very derogatory और कोई किसी को बहुत बुरा लगे. That is what you call as a behavior. ठीक है? Got it? मतलब ऐसे questions might be asked, but always make sure you always answer in such a way कि किसी को बुरा ना लगे. मतलब 1% भी बुरा ना लगना चाहिए. जब भी आप बोलते हो कि किसी को कॉल पे आने के लिए बोलते हो, always please can you join us, please. Always every line that you write in an industry should start with a please. That is what we are always taught. ठीक है? चलो क्वेश्चन करते हैं. ये वाला क्वेश्चन पढ़ लो फटाफट, फिर करते हैं. सर, आई हैव ओनली वन प्रोजेक्ट इन रेज्यूमे, लुकिंग फॉर एसडी इंटर्न इज ओके. More examples like this to nail behavior. I'll keep on giving more examples like this when I move ahead today. ठीक है? I'll keep on pitching such and such questions. Like, I have given a lot of interviews recently, so I have been asked a lot of behavioral questions. So I have actually studied it thoroughly, so I can give you a lot of questions today. Don't worry. I interviewed for a lot of companies, तो मैं बता दूंगा, ठीक है? ये वाला क्वेश्चन पढ़ लो. कभी कभी ना अगर बिहेवियर राउंड अच्छा आता है ना, मैनेजर अगर थोड़ा सा डीए से भी हिला होगा ना, तो ले लेगा बंदा अच्छा है, बंदे को लेते हैं. Amazon इंटर्न का इंटरव्यू है. ऑल द बेस्ट रोहित. मेक श्योर डू बाइनरी ट्रीज, पूरा बाइनरी ट्रीज. Let's read the question. A conveyor belt has packages that must be shipped from one port to another. जिसका भी इंटर्न का सबको 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 ऑल द बेस्ट. जस्ट मेक श्योर बी रिलैक्स्ड, बी रिलैक्स्ड. एंड आज का ये 4 क्वेश्चन कर लेते हैं, काफी कॉन्फिडेंस भी मिल जाएगा क्योंकि बीएफएस आने के बहुत चांसेस होते हैं, बहुत लोगों का है, तुम्हारे भी आ सकते हैं. लेट्स सी. Okay, a conveyor belt has packages that must be shipped from one port to the another. Okay, within days, the ith package on the conveyor belt has a weight of weights I. Each day, we load the ship with packages on conveyor belt. We may not load more weight than the maximum weight capacity of the ship. Return the least weight capacity of the ship that will result in all packages on the conveyor belt being shipped within days. So थोड़ा बहुत तो मुझे भी क्वेश्चन नहीं समझ में आया. एग्जांपल देखते हैं. Weights 1 2 3 4, these are the weights and you have 5 days. Output is 15. Now a ship capacity of 15 is the minimum to ship all the packages in the 5 days. Now if you check this out, it's 1 2 3 4 5, which is 15, I guess. 1 plus 2, 3 plus 3, 6, yeah, 15. This is 7, 6 plus 7, that's 13. This is 8, this is 9, this is 10. So if I ship accordingly in this way, I think the maximum that I'm shipping on a day is 15. And that's the minimal that I can do. That's the minimal that I can do. And there can be other ways, like you can decide to ship like 2 3 4 5, then a 1 6 7, then 8 9 10. But if you decide to ship like this, okay, then the capacity would have been 14. The capacity could have been 14 in the order given, but एक सेकंड रुको. नोट दैट द कार्गो मस्ट बी शिप्ड इन द ऑर्डर गिवन. अच्छा, ये अलाउड नहीं है, मतलब इसी ऑर्डर में करना है, कंसेक्यूटिव ऑर्डर पे ही शिप करना है. यू हैव टू ship it in the consecutive order. So for an example, if this is given to you, they have shipped 3 2 2 4 and 1 4. So I think the maximum is 6. So yeah, 6. Over here they've again shipped it. So question is kind of clear. Like you have given days, you have to decide how much to ship on each day, and after that, on whichever day you have the maximum shipment, you have to tell us. Just make sure the maximum shipment is as minimal as possible. थोड़ा Amazon का पे स्केल बढ़ गया है. हमारे टाइम पे तो 60,000 देता था, इस साल से 80,000 दे रहा है. लाइक कर दो, स्ट्रीम लाइक कर दो. If you're watching this, please make sure you like the stream. ठीक है. How will you solve this question? Yeah, binary search is a way, definite way. Yeah, binary search is definitely a way. Any other way? Any other way to solve this? Yeah, Shatank, maximum allocate minimum pages. Yeah, binary search. That is absolutely correct. It's a kind of binary search problem that is needed. But yeah, I'll just quickly come across. Quick time, movie recording. कहाँ चला गया? अभी देखो, तुम्हारे ट्री का ही मैं पढ़ा रहा था कुछ दिन, मतलब क्लास करने से पहले ट्री का ही रिवाइज कर रहा था. एनीवेज इधर ही कर लेते हैं. Okay, let me just quickly get this unsorted. Is this perfect? Perfect है. Okay, this is good. This is good. Okay, so what is the question stating? Try to explain your thought. Yeah, I'll try to definitely explain my thought process. Don't worry, I am not someone who just marks up solutions and comes up and gives. That is something you will not expect from me. Anyways, so I'll just quickly write it up. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, 8, 9, 10, and the number of days is 5. Okay, so what they're saying is days 1, days, ये क्या हो जाता है इसको बीच बीच में. एक सेकंड, ब्लूटूथ डिस्कनेक्ट हो गया. Okay, I'm back. So what you have as of now is you have these days. Okay, you have days 2, you have days 3, you have days 4, you have days 5. Now what they're saying is take some part and put that into day 1. Assume this much. Assume if you put like 1, 2, 3, 4, and then take some part, assume you put 5, 6, then take some part, assume you put 7, 8, then take some part 9, then take some part 10. Now if you put them like this, the maximum that you're putting it over here is 10, over here is 11, over here is 15, over here is 9, over here is 10. I think this is what you are putting across. If you put across, what's the maximum among them? The maximum that I can see among them is 15. I think this is also a possible answer where you say that, hey, listen, I can definitely put something like this, and that's also a valid one. Yeah, that's also a valid one. Like I can say this is also a valid one. समझ में आएगा? मतलब it doesn't matter how are you giving it, as long as you're saying that, hey, I'm making sure the days once are being given in consecutive, then days 2 are given in consecutive, then days 3 are given in consecutive, day 4, day 5. Now this is the number of days that I got. I could have also done something like this. This is also possible. I would have also done something like this where I say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. In this case, this would have been 3. This would have been 12. This would have been 21. This would have been 9. This would have been 10. So the maximum would have been 21. So my sole purpose is to make sure that this maximum that I get, to reduce it. That's my sole purpose. I want the maximum, whatever maximum, like over here 6, 7, 8 was the maximum that I took. I want to reduce that maximum number. Okay, now generally it's a pattern, it's a type of question which is asked in a lot of interviews. If you give interviews across, you will see this pattern being asked in almost every interview, where the question always states minimize the maximum. That's always the question tagline. Remember this, minimize the maximum is the question tagline always. So over here what you're doing is you got the maximum sum 20 and have to minimize that sum. So this is the pattern of question where they always say minimize the maximum. You have to minimize the maximum. Now you got the maximum as 20. You have to make it sure this goes down. So you have to do the partition in such a way that it goes down. So for questions like minimize the maximum, it's always binary search. Now why binary search? What's the intuition? You always say, okay, why binary search? Now what I know is if I take a number and I say, is it possible? मुझे तो इतना ही देखना है, क्या ये आंसर हो सकता है कि नहीं? मतलब लॉजिकली क्या सेंस बनता है? मैं लॉजिकली पूछूं बाइनरी सर्च क्यों? Assume I have a range of numbers. Okay, I just have to pick a number x. I give you a number x. What's your job? You have to tell me, can x be the answer? That's your question to tell me. If x can be the answer, I repeat, if x can be the answer, what was the question? The question was stating to minimize. अगर ये बंदा x number हो सकता है, if it can be the answer, then what do you think? You say like, okay, if x can be my answer, then do I need to check for x plus 1, x plus 2 and so on? Logically बताओ. You have to find the minimal answer. So तुम क्या करोगे? Where will you look? You'll look for this portion. तुम और थोड़ा छोटा करके चेक करोगे कि शायद लेफ्ट में कोई छोटा नंबर मिल जाए, which can be my answer. Makes sense logically. You'll do this, right? Yes or no? This is something which is kind of predicate function. I think Advait ne bola hai. This is where you say that, hey, listen, for X, answer is possible. Now you say that, okay, look for a smaller number. Okay. Now in the same case, when I say that, hey, X is not possible, then chota number bhi to possible nahi hoga if X is not possible. If X is not possible as an answer, then you look for the righter half. Correct? So that's the logic or the intuition behind binary search of questions related to minimize the maximum. Now when I do the binary search, you will start understanding. ठीक है, you will start understanding. जब binary search कर दूंगा ना तो पूरा समझ में आ जाएगा. मतलब ऐसा लॉजिक है ना, मतलब intuition. Did you understand the thought process that I'm meaning to say? When I will do the binary search, you'll start getting the intuition by yourself itself. You'll not require me. Okay, so let's get the intuition. So if I've been given the question like this, can I say the minimal answer that I can get is 1? That's the minimal that I can get. I'll say on a day, assume there's only one guy. There's only one guy who is shipped. On a day, there's only one guy. At the worst case, I'm not taking this test case or any test case. On an overall scenario, I'm saying the minimal answer that is possible can be 1. I'll be like, okay. And then saying on the overall scenario, the maximum answer that is possible is definitely the summation of all of them. Every one of them gets into a day. That's a नितिन, तुम्हारे लिए पुराना हो गया होगा तो तुम मत देखो स्ट्रीम, है कि नहीं? अरे ये ट्रिक पुराना हो गया तो मैं क्या करूं? डीएसए ऐसे तो भाई इस लॉजिक से तो डीएसए भी पुराना हो गया. छोड़ दो, क्यों कर रहे हो? नहीं, छोड़ दो ना, क्यों कर रहे हो? डीएसए भी तो पुराना हो गया. मेरे लिए तो डीएसए पूरा पुराना है. तो मुझे स्टैक पूछ लो, लिंक लिस्ट पूछ लो, ट्राइब्स पूछ लो, ट्रीज पूछ लो, मेरे लिए तो सब पुराना है. मैं तो सभी छोड़ दूंगा ना. डीएसए विल ऑलवेज बी सेम मैन. DSA will always be same. It will always have binary search. It will always have arrays. It will always have stack. It will always have queues. No matter what happens, you cannot change them. It will always have linked list. It will always have hash map. You can never change them, right? And मत देखो stream यार, मतलब simple सा होता है. तुम आओ, मैंने तो starting में बता दिया ना. देखो, I have been very frank on starting. These are the questions that I'll solve. If you feel you know these questions, don't watch the stream, right? मत देखो स्ट्रीम. मतलब ऐसा थोड़ी मैं तुम्हारा बाल पकड़ के बोला भाई तू स्ट्रीम देख, आज तेरे को स्ट्रीम देखना पड़ेगा, राइट? मैं बोल तो ऐसे नहीं रहा हूं ना. बहुत लोग को नहीं आता होगा. देयर विल बी अ लॉट ऑफ पीपल हु विल नॉट बी नोइंग, राइट? चैट में बता देगा. मतलब हाउ मेनी ऑफ यू डोंट नो दिस प्रॉब्लम इन चैट? देयर माइट बी अ लॉट ऑफ पीपल, राइट? Okay, so the high, what can be the high? I can say the high will be, I'll put all the days, right? I'll put all the days in one day. I'll take everyone, put it in one day, correct? I can put everything into one day, right? So it will be 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 essay, which is apparently 10 into 11, 55. So I can say the maximum is when I put everything into a day. The maximum is when I put everything into a day, correct? So I will be like low is 1, high is 55. Like the minimum that I can put into a day is 1 and the maximum that I can put into a day is 55. I know this. Okay. Now what I'll do is I will be like, hey, listen, let's find the middle. What's the middle? Let's analyze what's the middle. The middle is 1 plus 55 by 2, which is 28. The middle is 1 plus 55 by 2, which is 28. Okay, now let's start. Now I know 28 will be my answer. मैं 28 से ज़्यादा नहीं करूँगा क्योंकि ज़्यादा वाला ही आंसर होता है. क्वेश्चन याद है? Maximum. मैं 28 से I'll not exceed more than 28. Remember this. I will not exceed more than 28 क्योंकि मैं चाहता हूँ, I want that 28 should be my answer. No matter what happens, I want 28 to be my answer. Okay, so let's get started. Day 1. I'll say let's take 1. Okay, let's take 2. Okay, let's take 3. Okay, let's take 4. Okay, let's take 5. Okay, till now we have 15. On day 1 we have 15. Let's take 6. 21. This entire summation is 21. अब अगर मैं 7 लिया, अगर मैं इधर 7 लिया तो ये 28 ये एक्सीड नहीं हो रहा है. अभी भी ले सकते हैं. ऐड करो कितना होता है. इफ यू ऐड दिस, हाउ मच विल बी दिस? कितना होता है ये पता नहीं मुझे. How much it will be? 7 into 8, 4, 28. This is exactly 28. This is exactly 28. So I know on a day I cannot have more than 28. So what I will say is, hey listen, I will put only till here into the day 1. I will say only till here into day 1. I'll say only till here into day 1. Perfect. Day 1 is done. Not exceeding 28, because 28 I want it to be the answer. I want 28 to be the answer. Okay. So now I'll go to day 2. Okay. Now when I go to day 2, I'll be like, let's start from the next, which is 8. 8 I can put. 9 I can put. But 10 also I can put. Why? Because even if I add 8, 9, 17 plus 10, 27. This gives me 27. This gives me 28, which is still lesser than 28. So by taking 28, where you able to ship all the products under 5 days, where you able to ship all the products under 5 days, assuming the max answer that you took was 28 on a ship on a single day, were you able to? Yes or no? Yes. 28 हुआ कि नहीं, ये बताओ. अरे कर तो दिया 28. यस क्या? अंडर 5 days तो कर दिया ना. Under 5 days, so you did, because on day 1, day 2, you were able to ship everything. Now, if you're able to ship, this is the moment you say, अरे भाई सुन, 28 हो चुका है. Let's keep that. 28 can be my answer. हाँ, 28 लेके अपन 28 2 दिन में कर दिया. Minimize. Question was minimize. कम करते हैं, थोड़ा कम करते हैं ना. चलो कम करते हैं. मैं बोलूंगा ठीक है भाई, 28 ठीक था, थोड़ा कम कर, अब छोटा आंसर खोज. मैं बोलूंगा अच्छा चलो. तो मैंने बोला 28 तो मेरा एक आंसर मुझे पता है, हो सकता है, लेकिन मैं काम करता हूँ थोड़ा और भी, थोड़ा लेफ्ट में खोज के आता हूँ, काश और मिनिमाइज हो जाए. क्या पता और मिनिमाइज हो जाए, हो ही सकता है. दिस इज वेयर बाइनरी सर्च कम्स इन. आई से ओके, लेट्स मिनिमाइज द रेंज एंड कॉल द रेंज टू बी 1 to 27 is where I will try to find an answer. So now mid will be 14, because the mid of this is 14. Okay, now let's take day 1. Can I take 1? Yes. Can I take 2? Yes. Can I take 3? Yes. Can I take 4? Yes. Question to everyone, can you take this 5? No. Can you take this 5? No. Why? Because the moment you take 5, this will take 15 into a day. You don't want anything beyond 14. You don't want anything beyond 14. So you'll be like, अरे भाई 14 ही रखने का एक दिन, उससे आधा नहीं. 14, not more than that. So you'll be like, अच्छा, we can only take till here. Let's see day 2. I can take 5. I can take 6, but not 7. Not 7. Because the moment you take 7, this will again greater than 14, which is something which I don't want. At max 14, usse zyada nahi. So again, not allowed. Let's see day 3. Day 3 will be 7, not 8. Day 3 is 7. 7 के बाद 8 ले सकते हैं. Again, the answer will be no, because the moment you take 18, it will again be greater than 14. Not possible. Right? Day 4. 8. Can you take 9? No. Because again that will be exceeding 14. Day 5. 9. Can you do 10? No. Day 6. How many days did you take? You ended up taking 6 days. But question said 5 days. तो मैं बोलूंगा अरे भाई सुन, मिनिमाइज करने आया था, इतना भी मत कर, 14 में नहीं होगा. मैं बोलूंगा ठीक है भाई, थोड़ा ज्यादा ले ले तू. ठीक है चलो ज्यादा लेते हैं. 14 पे तो होगा नहीं, ज्यादा लेते हैं. 15 से 27 में खुजते हैं. लेट्स फाइंड इन 15 to 27, बिकॉज 14 तो हुआ नहीं. 14 was not possible. So did you understand how am I doing a binary search? How am I doing a binary? So you can just keep on doing, and ultimately you'll stand at a number which will be your answer. You'll stand up at a number which will be your answer. Has everyone got this? Yes Rohit, that is the intuition. Yes Rohit, that is the intuition. 2 दिन में हो गया ना? अरे 5 दिन पड़े अपने पास, चल और कमा और कमा, 5 दिन है अपने पास। 6 दिन लग गया, अरे भाई 6 दिन नहीं है, 6 दिन नहीं है, थोड़ा बढ़ा ले, थोड़ा बढ़ा ले, ये लॉजिक है। Has everyone got the logic? Has everyone got the logic? Time, yeah, and login kind of. Yes, yes. This question is asked not only in Amazon, across all the interviews. Trust me, across all the interviews, this question is asked a lot of times. Okay. So these kind of questions where whenever they say minimize the maximum, तुम कुछ नहीं करेगा, तुम बस बढ़ाएगा कमाएगा, बढ़ाएगा कमाएगा, बढ़ाएगा कमाएगा, एक जगह रुक जाएगा। ओके, shall we code? Shall we code? Anyone there who did not understand? नहीं, n log n ही होगा ना, n log n ही होगा ना। I'll come to the time complexity after I code, ठीक है? I'll come to the time complexity after I code. Does that make sense? Okay, so let's quickly code this in C++. अब जावा वाले रोना मत, सेम ही है, जावा वाले रोना मत, प्लीज हाथ जोड़ के है आपसे विनती। ओके, डिड नॉट अंडरस्टैंड अथर्व, भाई सब समझ गए? सबको नहीं? एक बार वापस स्क्रॉल करके देख लो ब्रो, अगर नहीं आया समझ में। मेरा सबसे बड़े वाले नंबर को आंसर रख लेते हैं, पूरा एक ही दिन में भेज देते सबको। अब वाइल लो कर देते, ठीक है? वाइल लो लेसर देन इक्वल टू हाई, int made equal to low plus high by 2, ठीक है? This is when I say right shift, अच्छा 2 अथर्व है भाई, 2 अथर्व है, ओ भाई साहब। अच्छा, राइट शिफ्ट ऑफ 2, दिस इज समथिंग व्हिच इज binary shift. This is equivalent to divide of 2. This is equivalent to saying divide of 2. Divide of 2. I generally do, competitive programmers generally tend to write right shift of 1. Okay. Now I need to check if possible, or a function possible under days where I pass the weights, I pass the mid, and I pass the days. If possible under these days, this can be my answer. थोड़ा छोटा खोज ले भाई, थोड़ा छोटा खोज ले। ए तो भाई सुन, जाके बड़ा खोज, चल 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 निकल, बड़ा खोज। That's me return the answer. Okay. Now what I can do is I will be like, hey listen, private int possible under days. Okay. So what I'll do is I'll take the vector int and weights int max allowed int days. I'll be like int sum equal to 0, int count equal to 0 for auto of it weights. I'll be like summation plus equal to it if by chance sum exceeds, or I can do it something like this, if by chance sum exceeds. By the way, if it is exceeding the max allowed, it's not possible. अगर वो दिन में ही ऐसा आइटम है जो ऑलरेडी एक्सीडिंग है तो दैट्स नॉट अलाउड, रिटर्न फॉल्स, ठीक है? रिटर्न फॉल्स, उल्टा लिख दिया क्या? अरे ठीक है ओके, अरे ठीक है अरे ठीक है, गलती हो गई भाई, माफ करो। इफ सम प्लस it is greater than max allowed, then you have to do something, or else it's allowed, you can do sum plus equal to it. Okay, and if it is greater, remember this, if it is in case greater, that means first time आया, बड़ा है, अभी क्या करना है, इसको सम में भेज देना है, बोलूँगा भाई नया शुरू कर, तो नया शुरू कर रहा है ना, तो चल ये लेके जा, चलो ये लेके जा। तो बंदा क्या किया, नया शुरू किया, and he just started with this. So initially you can keep the count as 1 because some will initially take this guy. एक सेकंड को थोड़ा सा सोचने दो मेरे. Sum plus IT greater than max allowed. Yeah, should work. Should. At the end of the day, if count is lesser than equal to days, then you can return a true. Should work, I guess. Let me think once. IT greater than max allowed. If any moment any of the day is greater, ठीक है. Sum plus IT कोई भी मोमेंट पे आया पड़ा हुआ, सम को IT कर देंगे, काउंट को प्लस इक्वल टू करेंगे, फिर ऐड करते रहेंगे, सम प्लस इक्वल टू. कूल, वर्क्स फाइन. मैंने 19 में किया था ये प्रॉब्लम. देख रहे हो, मैं जब अमेजन के प्रिपेयर करता तब किया था, बहुत दिन पहले का बात है, सदी बीत गए. एंड अभी देखो मैंने कितना क्लीन कोड लिखा ना. आई शो यू समथिंग. आई एम वेरी श्योर. ओके, सी द क्लीन कोड दैट आई हैव रिटन, लाइक इट्स सो रीडेबल. ओके, now let's look at the code that I used to write when I was in my normal years as per yours. तभी मैं क्लीन ही लिखता था. हाँ सही है, खराब तो नहीं है, चलेगा, सेम ही है, मतलब ये भी क्लीन ही था. क्या दिस इज अ प्रॉब्लम? वी शुड हैव गिवन एंड ओवर हियर. क्लीन तो था, चलो कोई बात नहीं. मुझे लगा मैं बहुत बेकार कोड लिखता था बचपन में. मेरी टाइपिंग स्पीड इट्स अराउंड 80 to 90 words per minute, not more than that. I don't do a lot of touch typing. I used to do in my class 11 12. At that time I had around 100. I used to do a lot of touch typing. वो एक वर्ड का एक गेम आता था, मैं फटाफट से कंप्यूटर में वही खेलता था, पापा के कंप्यूटर में. बचपन का बात है, अब नहीं है. अब मैं नॉर्मल आई फोकस ऑन. बुल का इफ कंडीशन नहीं समझा. बुल का इफ कंडीशन नहीं समझा. कौन सा? ये वाला. देखो, कोई भी मोमेंट पे कोई ऐसा बंदा आया जिसके ऐड करने से मैं ज्यादा कर जा रहा हूँ, तो मैंने क्या किया, उसको नया में डाल दिया एंड फिर एक नया डे पे उसको डाल दिया. एंड अगर ये वाला चीज है, कोई ऐसा ऐसा कंटेनर है जो एक डे में जा ही नहीं सकता, क्योंकि जितना मुझे अलाउड है उससे ज्यादा है, मतलब वो अकेले ही ज्यादा है, तो भाई तो पॉसिबल नहीं है ना, कोई भी डे में नहीं डाल सकता ना. गॉट इट अवे. लर्निंग कर्व इन गोल्डमैन सैश. आई एम नॉट श्योर. I'll not comment on that if I haven't gone there, but I've heard about from a lot of friends. It's good. It's not good as the other companies because the other ones are tech based companies. Goldman Sachs में थोड़ा टेक का लेवल कम होता है, तो हाँ. Okay, is that clear? Everyone, US understood solution. US understood solution. US understood solution. Everyone. Everyone. I want everyone to say. क्या यार ये 2-3 बंदे. Why you submit 4 times? अरे डेट भी देख ले भाई, डेट भी देख ले. अच्छा, यहाँ पे कितना बार किए, इतना बार यहाँ पे क्यों किया, अलग अलग बार, कुछ अलग अलग कोड में चेंजेस करके मैं ट्राई करता रहता हूँ मोस्टली. I used to try a lot of things. Probably it should be different codes. Should be different codes back in 2019. हाँ देख रहे हो. इस काइंड ऑफ पहले ऐसे लिखता था कोड, इसी के अंदर लिख देता था, धीरे धीरे फंक्शन बनाना सीखा, बाद में बाहर डालना सीखा, तो हाँ चलो. Okay, let's get to the next question. Which again, this is damn important for Amazon. Like every year I have seen this question popping up. At least मैंने एक बार दिया था, मेरे साथ आया था, मेरा फ्रेंड का भी आया था, मेरे कॉलेज में तो सबका आया था, मतलब ऑलमोस्ट दिस क्वेश्चन. It comes up every now and then, like similar question, but it comes up lot of times. BFS, simple plain BFS. दिल पे मत लिया करो, दिल पे मत लिया करो. मैं कुछ बोलूँ तो डोंट टेक इट ऑन हियर, ठीक है. 10 days के अंदर फंक्शन बनाना सीख लिया भैया. नहीं, इट्स इंपॉर्टेंट. सी व्हेनेवर यू कोड, इट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट यू राइट वेरी रीडेबल कोड्स. Otherwise there's a problem in interview. See, if you go and write these codes na, these codes will never get you through Google interviews. इसमें तो गूगल इंटरव्यू कभी नहीं निकलेगा. बट जैसे तुम कोड को थोड़ा सा स्ट्रक्चर ऐसे स्ट्रक्चर करके फंक्शन, ये भी देख रहे एफ लिखा है तो देख रहे हो पहले का मैंने एफ लिखा रहता था, तो ये एफ एफ नहीं लिखना होता ना. अभी देखो अभी कितना मैंने डिफरेंट लिखा कोड. अगर अभी अभी का समेशन देखोगे, सो डिफरेंट राइट. I wrote so standard function names, variable names are so standard. Look at this, max allowed, days, and then ship over here possible under days. So everything was so like, this is how you write industry codes where everything is readable. That was not my case when I used to do back. Again, I passed a copy of vector, which is not a good practice. You should always pass by reference, because whenever you're passing a copy, that means you're using an extra space. You're saying create one more vector and then take it. Whenever you're passing by reference, you're just passing the same thing, so you're not creating an extra space. So these things are very important in terms of interview perspective. Don't just pass another array, always pass by reference. That's the reason why they always give you by reference in the parameters as well. Also, there's one more thing that I'll show you. यहाँ देखो, पहले जब मैं कोड लिखता था मेरा सब पब्लिक होता था. These things were public, right? If you carefully observe, all these were public, correct? And if you carefully see over here, private. That's a new change, because whenever you write an internal function which is just used by you, it should always be private. So these things I have learned throughout the time, and yeah, if you are watching these streams, you can just pick up those things, pick up these smaller things, and trust me, छोटा छोटा चीजें हैं और इंटरव्यूज को ना बहुत बहुत पसंद आता है. तो छोटा छोटा प्राइवेट कर दोगे, थोड़ा थोड़ा चीज वेरिएबल नाम है, वेरिएबल नामकरण, अच्छे से नाम लिखना, क्लीन कोड लिखना. इंटरव्यू इज जस्ट एब्सोल्युटली लव इट. मैं इंटरव्यूअर हूं ना, तो मैं बता रहा हूँ. कोडिंग क्वेश्चन समझ नहीं आता, थोड़ा सा सीपी का क्वेश्चंस पढ़ोगे या फिर पुराना कोडिंग क्वेश्चंस पढ़ोगे तो बेटर रहेगा. अरे अर्धेंदु जस्ट क्रैक्ड अमेज़न इंटर्नशिप, इसलिए वो बोल रहा है. अरे तुम लोग 16 जन क्रैक कर लिए मेरे कॉलेज से. 16 जन को मैं कैसे बुलाऊं? पहले एक दो जन क्रैक करता था तो एक जन को बुला लेता था. 16 को लिए कुछ कुछ सोचना पड़ेगा. आई थिंक ऑफ समथिंग, आई कॉल एवरीवन, डोंट वरी. आई थिंक ऑफ समथिंग. लेट्स थिंक ऑफ अ गेम. ओके, एक गेम खेलते हैं चैनल पे. चलो, इस संडे तो नहीं, पता नहीं, देख तो मैं बोल दूंगा, ठीक है. सीएम बनने की जरूरत नहीं, कुछ भी अच्छे से प्रैक्टिस करो. I'll always say if you're joining a company, it should always be, if you're joining a company, get up कुछ सीखो. देख, सी Django, Node.js ऐसा कुछ सीखने का जरूरत नहीं है. You'll always learn. But if you're joining a company, GitHub. Don't do anything. Learn GitHub and go. GitHub is used everywhere. Everywhere you will be using GitHub. ठीक है, नहीं तो GitHub का भाई यूज करोगे, बहन यूज करोगे, बट GitHub का ही कॉन्सेप्ट यूज करोगे. So no matter what you do, learn GitHub and join any company, be it an internship, be it a full time. Learn GitHub. कुछ सीखो ना सीखो, गिटअप सीख के ज्वाइन करना, वरना यू विल डू अ मिस्टेक विद गिट. ये गिट सीख के जाओ. गिटअप पे जैसे फंक्शन है, गिट कमिट, गिट पुश, एवरीथिंग एवरीथिंग यू हैव टू लर्न, ठीक है. चेरी पिक से शुरू करके सारा चीज सीख के जाना. वो नहीं आएगा तो बहुत, मतलब फिर वो 10 दिन वहीं पे तुम गिट, तुम्हारा माथा खराब हो जाएगा गिट से कैसे काम करता है. हाउ टू रोल बैक एवरीथिंग, हाउ टू रिवाइज. आई विल ऑलवेज से क्रिएट नोट्स टू रिवाइज. Create notes to revise. 200 watching OP, 200 likes man. आ गए हो तो लाइक दे दो, आ गए हो तो लाइक दे दो, क्या ही हो जाएगा. हाँ, मेरा गिट सीख ले. आई डिड अ बुक मार्क ऑन माई क्रोम टैबलेट, क्रोम टैब, नॉट हियर, वो दूसरे लैपटॉप में. आई हैव अ बुक मार्क एज गिट सीख ले. इधर तो नहीं है वैसा बुक मार्क. ओके, क्वेश्चन पढ़ लो, शुरू करते हैं. I generally use command line. It's a good practice to use command line if you're using Git. Don't use UI. It's not a good practice. You'll not understand it. आज Amazon में 90% questions are from SD sheet. वाह, मजा आ गया. तो पुराने क्वेश्चंस को रिवाइज तो करना पड़ेगा यार. न्यूजीलैंड जीत गया भाई, कैसे कैसे, क्या बोल रहा है भाई, कौन मारा. ओ भाई साहब ने मारा ऐसा। निशाम, अरे भाई जिमी निशाम ने मारे 27, कॉनवे 46। ओ भाई ओ भाई ओ भाई, क्या चल रहा है। 10% क्वेश्चंस कहाँ से थे? अच्छा सब, अच्छा एवरीवन वाज वाचिंग न्यूजीलैंड मैच, दैट्स व्हाई माय लाइव स्ट्रीम वाचिंग वाज कम। आई अंडरस्टैंड नाउ व्हाई सो मेनी लेस पीपल ऑन लाइव स्ट्रीम, यू नो वाचिंग न्यूजीलैंड ना। बस मजा आ गया भाई, इंग्लैंड गया बाहर, बहुत उड़ते थे ये लोग। ओके लीड कोड करते हैं। विथ ऑब्स्टैकल एलिमिनेशन शॉर्टेस्ट पाथ, ठीक है देखता हूँ। अरे ठीक है, तुम नेक्स्ट मॉक इंटरव्यू में आ जाना, तेरे मैं मॉक इंटरव्यू लेता हूँ। Okay, let's understand the question. Given an n cross n matrix, written the longest length of the longest clear path, very important clear path in the matrix. If there is no clear path, return -1. Okay, so by the way, how many of you have done cannot do these kind of questions? I just wanted to know a good number. How many of you cannot do these kind of questions? Yeah, I watch India's matches. Okay, okay, I can do it. Okay, but there's a lot of people never tried. Okay. There's a lot of people. Okay, cool. Let's understand this question. Now, what are they saying? They're saying you have to, you can move in all the directions. Okay. They're saying is you can move in all the directions. Move in all directions. Okay. Now, whenever they move in all directions, they're saying you'll be given a matrix. Okay, cool. You'll be given a matrix. This matrix will be having 0 and 1. This matrix will just be having 0 and 1s. So this will be 0, this will be 0. Again, not surety. There is no surety that this will be 0. Okay, so you have to start from here and you have to reach here. You can take any direction. ऐसे कैसे भी लेके you have to reach from here to here. Okay, for an example, if I put 0 0 0 0 and then a 0, then a 1. So can you tell me the longest path that you can take? What will be the longest path? Logically, I think the longest path will be this. They are saying the longest path having zeros, having all zeros. Longest path having all zeros. So it's kind of this. That's the longest path having all zeros. Longest or shortest? Shortest. Sorry, shortest. Shortest. Sorry, extremely short. Then this is the path. This is the shortest path. This is the shortest path. Okay. So if I just use my color, this is the shortest path that you find, and the path is 1 2, like 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. It's 7. It's 7 as the path. It's 7 as the path. नहीं 7 नहीं तो फिर ज़्यादा है. 1 2 3 4 5 6 हाँ 7 है path. Length of the path. Is the question clear? Is the question clear? You can move in 8 direction. Yeah, you can move in 8 direction. No, you can move in 8 direction. You can move in 8 direction. If you carefully see, it's clearly written 8 direction connected. They are connected in 8 direction. So you can move in any of the 8 directions. You can move in any of the 8 directions. It's clearly written. Diagonals, 8 direction. Clearly written 8 direction. Up, down, कुछ भी move कर सकते हो. It's on them. Okay. Because why is that important? Because assume I give you something like this. तो इसका पाथ कैसा होगा? ये देखो, ऐसे 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 ऐसे. So that's why 8 directions are allowed. That's why 8 directions are allowed. Okay, that's why 8 directions are allowed. कॉर्नर मूवमेंट विल बी, अच्छा कॉर्नर मूवमेंट, हाँ तो कॉर्नर मूवमेंट से ये वाला इस पे ये हो जाएगा करेक्ट. ये हो जाएगा पाथ शॉर्टेस्ट इफ कॉर्नर मूवमेंट्स आर अलाउड. If corner movements are allowed, shortest will be 4, not 7. Not 7. If corner movements are allowed, shortest will be 4. Correct, नितिन, करेक्ट है, करेक्ट है. मैंने वो डायगोनल नहीं कंसिडर किया था. बट या फॉर दिस केस, if you consider this will be the shortest path, which will be 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. 7 will be for this, right? And for this case it will be this one. Simple enough, this one. Okay, got this question? Now what kind of questions might be asked in an interview? They might give you 8 directions, they might give you 4 directions. Okay, they can give you anything, 8 direction, 4 direction, that is completely their choice. They can give you any. अरे ठीक है भाई, प्लस 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 ही है. 7. So 8 directions or 4 directions, you can take in any directions. You can take 8 4. ठीक है. These questions always thumb rule BFS, not the graph BFS, simple BFS, which is known as breadth first search. I am someone who calls this as brute force search. कोई पूछा तो बोलना राज भैया बोले थे ब्रूट फोर्स सर्च बोलते हैं, वो ब्रेथ फर्स्ट नहीं बोलते. आई कॉल इट एज, फिर डायगोनल आ गया कि हाँ इसमें भी डायगोनल होगा. ओफ यार आज का दिन खराब है. ऐसे होगा, राइट ये होगा डायगोनल. मैं डायगोनल भूल जाता हूँ यार. या डायगोनल ठीक है डायगोनल. If someone says BFS, say them that I told you brute force search and not breadth first search. Okay, brute force search. Why? You'll understand the moment I say you the algorithm. ठीक है, ट्रस्ट मी, द मोमेंट आई टेल यू द एल्गोरिथम लाइक हाँ भाई ये सही में ब्रूट फोर्स है, ये तो सही में ब्रूट फोर्स कर रहे हैं. चलो बताते हैं. तो अंडरस्टूड व्हेन दिस विल बी यूज्ड, करेक्ट. नाउ लेट्स सी what's the standard procedure. I'll tell you the steps, you will always remember this. ठीक है, these are the steps that you will follow. Take the starting position and mark it as 1. Take the starting position and mark it as 1 and push it into Q data structure. Whatever is the starting position. Yes, it's a brute force. like brute force मतलब मेरा, अरे मैं बुलाता हूँ brute force search, तुम मत बुलाओ. तो बोलेगा भाई गलत, इंटरव्यू में जाकर बोलेगा सर आई विल यूज brute force search. who's told you? never told. ऐसा मत करना, ठीक है. BFS बताऊंगा क्यों लगेगा. I'll tell you क्यों BFS लगेगा, अभी बताते हैं. आएंगे. I'll tell you the intuition, don't worry, I'll give you all the answers. Push it into the queue, ठीक है. Step 1. Step 2, apply brute force and move in all direction. Okay, apply brute force and move in all direction. ठीक है. So coming across, how will you do this? Let's understand. Let's take a very minimal example just in order to understand. Okay, so I've taken this. What I said was the step 1. Let's first write down the indexes. What is the step 1? Take a Q data structure. And please make sure, please make sure you store the coordinates of the starting point, which is 0, 0. You made sure that the starting point of the coordinates are stored. Okay, and also make sure this is 1. This is 1 in the path, क्योंकि paths अभी इस path में ये एक बंदा तो है, path में है कि नहीं? अरे है ना, है तो ठीक है, right? Brute force. What is the step 2? Apply brute force and move in all directions possible. Apply brute force and move in all direction possible. So from 0, 0, if I ask you, where can you move? You're allowed in 8 directions. You cannot move here because it's a 1. Because it's a 1. Can you move here? Yes. Can you move here? Yes. So these two are the directions. These two are the directions that you can move. Apply brute force and move in all directions. Okay. So you'll be like, let's move on to both the directions. Now, first movement that you'll do is on 1, 0. Now tell me, if you move in 1, 0, if you move in 1, 0, how many steps are this? How many steps are this? It's 1 over here. If you're moving to this, path will become of how many steps? अरे भाई इधर से इधर गया तो कितना स्टेप हो गया? ये 1 था, ये 2 हुआ, 2 होगा ना, 2 ही ना होगा. इधर था 1 पे, इधर गया 2 ही ना होगा, 2. हाँ, अभी इधर भी, if you come here it will also be 2 and this one will be pushed into this and this will be omitted. I repeat, this will be omitted. Why? Because you have done the job for this. You have done. In interview it is not allowed to modify input, but yeah, you can tell the interviewer that I'm modifying, or you can use an different, you can use one more array. That's also okay. I'll tell you these things. I'll tell you these things while coding. Okay, while coding I'll tell you. Okay, so you have done this. You have done this, right? Next, take the next guy. 1, 0. Where can you move from 1, 0? This is 1, 0. Where can you move? You can move here, you can move here, you can move here. Now logically बताओ, जहां से आया था वहां थोड़ी जाएगा. क्या बुड़बक थोड़ी है. यहां से आया था फिर उधर जाएगा? जाएगा क्या? नहीं जाएगा. I'll not go here. Why? Because this is marked as 1. जहां से आया था वहां थोड़ी जाएगा. अरे भाई शॉर्टेस्ट निकाल रहा हूं, चक्कर क्यों काटूंगा? क्यों काटूंगा? शॉर्टेस्ट निकाल रहा हूं. I'll not go there. Perfect. Can I go here? Yes. 2, 0 is where I can go. Now if I go 2, 0, how many steps will it be? तुम बताओगे, मैं नहीं बोलने वाला. तुम लोग बोलोगे steps कितना है. How many steps will it be if you go to 2, 0? How many steps will it be if you go to 2, 0? Yeah, absolutely. 3 steps. Perfect. I've done for 1, 1. I've done for 1, 1. अब आया 2, 0. अब 2, 0 says, ओ भाई इधर से कहां जा सकता हूं? इधर पहले आ चुका हूं यार. 1 है वो. यहां ही आ सकता हूं डायरेक्ट. I can directly come here. So the moment I can come here, I'll push that into the queue. Either you can push that or you can return the answer. That's your choice. Either you can push that into the queue or you say, hey listen, I arrived at 2, 2 which I wanted. I will directly say, hey, यहां तक 2 लगा था, यहां तक आने में 3 लगेगा. चल return 3. That's my answer. The moment you reach here, you say जो भी लगा था +1 करके return. Wasn't this brute force? Now you tell me, is this breadth force? It's a brute force. I tried in every direction. जहां पहले पहुंचा वहां हो गया. ठीक है. Now intuition. Why BFS? The intuition should be clear. Let's have the intuition. Let's have the intuition. Okay. Let's have the intuition. Why? अभी मैं बहुत सिंपल सा एग्जांपल देता हूं. This is road 1. This is road 2. This is road 2. Road 3. This is road 4. Okay. Now you know this is where your answer lies. Okay, this is where your answer lies. Logically, this is where you want to reach. Matlab, forget about the matrix. Okay, I'm just giving you a very hypothetical situation. There's a person who's standing here. Okay, there's a person who's standing here. उसको बोला गया, hey सुन, go and find the answer. Go and find किस रोड पे आंसर है. ये एंड है रोड का. ये एंड है रोड का. This is the road end. The person, if he follows DFS, what will he do? Depth. आंसर है रे, आंसर है रे, आंसर है, आंसर है, आंसर है. आहा, रोड 1 पे आंसर नहीं है, वापस चल. आंसर, 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 आंसर. नहीं, वापस चल. आंसर, 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 वापस चल. आंसर, आंसर. Oh, answer. I got my answer. I got my answer. I tried all the ways and I said this is my answer. Okay. If I used BFS, let's see. Answer. रोड में इधर है, इधर है, इधर है, इधर है. अरे भाई, एक साथ ही तो मूव कर रहा था चारों डायरेक्शन में. What were you doing? You are moving in together in all the directions. Next. Answer, 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 answer. No. Next. Answer, 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 answer. Yes. Did you understand why BFS? मैं तो रास्ते से भेलपुरी खा रहा था वाला चीज. सारे रास्ते पे जाके भेलपुरी खाएगा, जहां अच्छा है वो खा लेगा. दूसरे रास्ते पे क्यों जाएगा? है कि नहीं? है कि नहीं? जहां बेटर मिला वहीं खाएगा ना. अब किसके साथ खाएगा वो अलग बात है. Got it? Why BFS? Got it? Why BFS? Did everyone get this? Why BFS? क्योंकि मैं I'll move in parallel. भेलपुरी उतनी नहीं पसंद. तो डोमिनोज में पिज्जा खा लेना, और या फिर बर्गर किंग पे या फिर मैकडी पे पिज्जा बर्गर. नहीं. अबे, अगर तुम एक चीज बताओ. अबे एक चीज बताओ. इधर एक स्टेप लिया, इधर एक स्टेप लिया, इधर एक स्टेप लिया, इधर एक स्टेप लिया, फिर नेक्स्ट पे इधर एक स्टेप लिया, इधर एक स्टेप लिया, इधर एक स्टेप लिया, इधर एक स्टेप लिया. तो अल्टीमेटली इधर 2 स्टेप पे मिल गया ना. अब इधर वाला थोड़ी बेटर होगा, क्योंकि ये तो फिर और एक ले लेगा ना, तो ये 4 स्टेप वाला हो जाएगा ना. तो डीएफएस करते तो ट्राई ऑल स्टेप्स एंड टेक मिनिमल. लाइक ये ट्राई करते हैं, ये करते हैं, ये करते हैं, ये करते हैं, मिनिमल लेते हैं. बट बीएफएस के तो 2 2 2, ये 2 में ही मिल गया, तो जो मिनिमल है वो ही पहले मिल जाएगा. गॉट इट? डिड यू गेट दिस? अबे डिड यू गेट दिस? व्हाई? क्योंकि बीएफएस सारे रास्तों पे एक एक ही स्टेप जा रहा है, तो जब मिलेगा वो हमेशा मिनिमल होगा. अगर तुम रोड पे अगर तुम रोड पे बराबर मूव कर रहे हो, 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 तो भाई जो पहले मिलेगा वही बराबर ही तो मूव कर रहे हो यार. ऑलराइट. Now, if it was like find the longest, then you could have done DFS. If it was like find the longest path, you could have tried all paths and then you would have given the longest. सारा रास्ता ट्राई कर लेते हैं, जो थोड़ा लंबा है वो बोल देंगे लंबा है. ठीक है. मैक्सिमम रहता तो तुम डीएफएस करते, मैक्स 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 मैक्स. बीएफएस भी कर सकते थे, फिर बीएफएस को पूरा चलाना पड़ता. गॉट इट? बट द कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी विल बी वेरी हाई. इफ यू आर गोइंग टू ट्राई ऑल द पाथ्स, you need to understand, if you're going to try all the paths, the complexity will be very very high. Okay, I'll discuss about the complexity. Let me code this, then I'll discuss the complexity. ठीक है? मजा आ रहा है? मजा आ रहा है? ये बताओ पहले ये बताओ, मजा आ रहा है? Live classes are fun. Live classes are amazing. A type ro how question asile BFS habo boli kohilo. So how to know the question falls into this category? And kichi question kohiba as example. I have one more question as rotten oranges. I have one more question as rotting. भाई भेलपुरी खाएंगे अपन, खाएंगे ना, खाएंगे भेलपुरी. This is the real fun. Again, absolutely yes. I'll now move to the code. Okay, so shortest path by binary matrix. किया हूँ क्या पहले? नहीं. First time coding. Let's code this. ठीक है. Let's code this. You want this as Okay, I want n, that's grid dot size. Now remember one thing, one of the ways that you can do is either you can make changes to the grid itself, but I will recommend if you are in an interview, try to take one more vector. Okay, try to take one more vector, something like this. If you're in an interview, but if you're doing in coding rounds, you can do on that. But if you're in an interview, this is not recommended. Try to use a path ka ek to auric stuff. Okay, and then you can be something like path equal to grid. Just copy paste the path. ठीक है, तुम्हारे लिए कैंटीन में चाय और समोसा, जरूर जरूर जरूर. A path equal to grid. Okay, now what did I say? What was the step one? Come on, right guys, step one क्या था? Step one में आते क्या था? Step one देख लो. Take the starting position and mark it as 1 and push it into queue. So let's take the starting position. Just make sure the starting position is 0. Like if it is equal to 1, then return not possible. Other not possible का case है क्या? Yeah, minus. Return -1 if it's not possible. Or else you can take a queue. You can say path of 0 0 equal to 1, right? And you take a queue, pair q dot push, and you can just simply say 0 comma 0 is pushed, and then you can do while not q dot empty, and you can take I equal to q dot front dot first, j equal to q dot front dot second. And if छोड़ो, यहाँ पे कर देते हैं. नहीं, यहाँ पे नहीं करते. अब आगे आते हैं. क्या करना है? Apply brute force and move in all direction possible. अब brute force अपनाने का रहे सारे डायरेक्शन पे मूव करने का. अभी will you? Yes, you should ask. Ready? Make sure you ask it to the interviewer. ठीक है? I am from IIT. Should I study DS or my IIT tag will be enough? अरे भाई, तू IIT tag से कुछ भी कर सकता है. इस दुनिया में हो यार. IIT में भी लोग जाके DSA नहीं करेंगे तो कैंपस प्लेसमेंट पे कुछ नहीं मिलेगा. Okay, what am I going to do? I'm going to move in all 4 directions. Right, I'm going to move in all possible 4 directions. Now, will you write all 8 directions, Adam? Will you write all like 8 directions like yellow, yellow, art, if art likhoge? No. That's a very easy trick. The trick is something like dx. You store all the 8 places. Yes, you store all the 8 places, and that's kind of थोड़ा मैं pair वाला लिख देता हूँ. dx and then you write int dy. ठीक है, 0 0. मुझे याद भी नहीं है कौन सा ऊपर का डायरेक्शन, ऊपर का. बाप रे बाप, आर्ट डायरेक्शन कैसे लिखेंगे? ये आर्ट डायरेक्शन का dx dy कॉपी कर लेते हैं कहीं से. मेरे ही कोड में होगा. मेरे कोड में था. I have in my code itself. तो रास्ते पे जा रहा था. मैं क्या करूं? Let's copy paste dx dy. याद भी नहीं है अभी. I always had that written. Safety purposes. Let's copy all these. आपको ये बोलना मत कोड कॉपी करके पेस्ट करता है. कुछ लोग कर लेंगे. ठीक है, so these are the tricks. So basically instead of doing every time -1 +1 +0, I've just kept it together. ठीक है, this is what I've done, dx and dy. So next for there are directions, 8 directions. ठीक है, 8 directions. ठीक है, next अच्छा हाँ, ये भी कर सकते हैं. 2 nested भी ले सकते हैं. सही 2 nested भी ले सकते हैं. -1 -2 से +2 and then -2 to +2. I'll take all the combinations. Yeah, that can also be done. That is also correct. जो दिमाग में आ जाए वही कर लो पहले. So you can just write new y equal to j plus dy directions, and then you can say if new x is inside the boundary, and let's quickly write it, and new y is inside the boundary. Okay, and it's very important, the path has to be non-zero, like new x not previously visited, new y equal to 0. If that's the case, please इनको लेके डाल दिया जाए, and path will be +1 of this new x and new y. In case yeah, you'll just do this, and I think this should work. Okay, and at the end, if you do not reach, you can return a -1. Should be fine. Am I covering all the cases? I think yeah, I am. Uh-huh. Time limit exceeded. Time limit exceeded. Oh, ho, 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 ho. I forgot to pop. My bad. ओके, मतलब इसका एक्सपेक्टेड 1 होगा अगर सिर्फ 0 0 होगा। चलो तो यहाँ पे भी लिख लेते हैं। should be fine now. Cool. So tell me, did you like? Isn't it brute force? I just tried all the directions जहाँ पहले मिला भेज दिया। क्या ही किया मैंने? सारे directions पे गया। I would not like to go anywhere. I just moved in all directions by taking one step. जहाँ पहले पहुंचा उसको भेज दिया, है कि नहीं? 300 like. Let's talk 300 likes. 300 likes for today. Let's go to 300 likes. I need 300 likes on the stream. Why 8 direction will not work, 3 direction work? DXDI वाला देखो, अबे तुम अगर लेफ्ट जाते हैं तो तुम क्या करते? एक कॉलम पीछे करते। अगर तुम राइट जाते तो तुम एक कॉलम बढ़ाते। अगर तुम ऊपर जाते एक रो कम करते, नीचे आते तो एक रो बढ़ाते। तो अल्टीमेटली तुम +1 -1 लिखते। तो मैंने सारे डायरेक्शंस को ऐसे लिख दिया, -1 -1 ये एक डायरेक्शन है, एक रो कम एक कॉलम कम, -1 एक रो कम कॉलम से, एक रो कम कॉलम आगे। तो 8 डायरेक्शंस को मैंने ऐसे रिप्रेजेंट कर दिया। एंड मैं अभी इस पर लूप ओवर करूंगा, -1 लूप ओवर करके इसको ऐड करते तो ऊपर ऊपर सारा ऊपर 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 ये वाला डायरेक्शन सारा आ जाएगा। और दिस, अरे अपन पता है मैं कौन से कॉलेज से हूँ? यू नो फ्रॉम विच कॉलेज आई एम? फ्रॉम विच कॉलेज आई एम फ्रॉम दिस कॉलेज। Cool. Explain why written path new. Because see, because you have added now. Because over here you have added, correct? You have added the path. If you have added the path, and if that's the ending part, this will always store the answer, right? This will always store the answer, correct? Anyone from JGC over here? Anyone watching from JGC? Visited के जगह I have taken path ना. The path is acting as visited because the path will have 0 and 1s, correct? No one from my college. So sad. मेरे कॉलेज वाले ही मेरे को नहीं देखते। कीमत नहीं होती यार, अपनों में कीमत नहीं होती, परायों में ही कीमत होती है। कोई नहीं. Okay, so these are the. Can we remove line number 32? That's 32. Yeah, now you can remove this line because, but then complexity will arise. Then you'll do some more iterations. Then you'll do some more iterations, right? If you just remove this, then there will be some more iterations. But if you remove this, it'll work. It'll work. Yes, you can do that ratio also. You can put that into. I have used the visited only. Hmm. Is this a premium question? I don't think. I don't think it's a premium question. नहीं खत्म. Okay, next question we will do is rotting oranges. Okay, I think I'm not sure how many would have done this. Placement लग चुकी है हाँ. Not a premium, yeah. I'll try this question out afterwards, but I make sure you try this question. So let's take the rotting oranges question. Yes, it will always show sort again by ONM. Yeah, sorry, test case. I forgot to discuss the complexity, right? I forgot to disclose the complexity. Let's see. So what's the complexity? What do you think? Since you're writing this line, let's understand. Since you're writing this line, अरे यार यहाँ पे एक लाइन लिख रहे हो, इसके चलते तुम क्यू में कितना बार एलिमेंट्स डालोगे, कितने एलिमेंट्स एट मैक्स डाल पाओगे? At max, how many elements will be there in Q? If you're writing a line equal to 0, because every time you're putting something, you're updating that. Every time you're putting, yeah, n into m. Anirudh, I said, this will always be the shortest path. The reason is very simple. Anirudh, if you're approaching a place and there are 4 directions to move, and you're taking one step, see what are you doing it as at every time you're taking one step itself. एक step, एक step, एक step, एक step, एक step, एक step. तो जब पहुंच जाओगे, सब तो एक ही स्टेप ले रहा है ना, तो तुम श्योर हो ना जब पहुंचे वो पहला टाइम ही है. लॉजिक मतलब थोड़ा सा दिमाग को कोडिंग के बाहर के नजरिए से सोचो. अगर तुम 4 रास्ते हैं एक जगह पहुंचने के लिए और 4 रास्ते पे 4 बंदे निकले हैं, तो तुम तो वही कर रहे हो ना, तुम चारों डायरेक्शंस पे 8 डायरेक्शंस पे भेज दे रहे हो. तो जो डायरेक्शन पे एक ले लेके पहले पहुंचा है तो हमेशा पहले ही पहुंचेगा ना. बी वेरी स्पेसिफिक, इट इज 8 into n into m, because in q at max you'll be pushing in how much? N into m elements, not more than that. Yes, it's the key. It's a common sense. I'll tell you how to verify. I'll tell you how to verify. चलो मैं बता भी देता हूँ. बहुत easy है यार ये. मतलब ये देखो, intuitively this is very simple. If I give you a graph of one direction, one direction, one direction, one direction, okay, one direction, 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 and then I tell you that okay, थोड़ा सा मिटा देता हूँ. One direction. Now tell me, if you're doing a BFS, let's see. You're here, you moved in one direction, एक स्टेप लिया, इधर पहुंचा, इधर पहुंचा, इधर पहुंचा, इधर पहुंचा, इधर पहुंचा, सॉरी, और ये डेस्टिनेशन है, ये समझ लो डेस्टिनेशन है. ठीक. तो अभी एक लॉजिक बताओ, तुमने यहां से पहुंचा, यहां सब जगह एक स्टेप पे पहुंचा. नेक्स्ट स्टेप क्या होगा? इधर से एक स्टेप लोगे, इधर पहुंचोगे, इधर से एक स्टेप लोगे, यहां पहुंचोगे, इधर से कहीं नहीं, इधर से एक स्टेप लोगे यहां, इधर से एक स्टेप लोगे, सब जगह तो एक स्टेप ही ले रहे हो. तो जब पहुंचना है फर्स्ट टाइम ही तो पहुंच जाओगे. इस बंदे के पहुंचने से पहले नहीं पहुंचोगे क्योंकि एक स्टेप ले रहे हो. गॉट इट? Got this? Have you got this? सब्सक्राइब कर देना नया हो तो चैनल पे, ठीक है? Because I keep on bringing such kind of streams. This is more of a level order traversal. Since you're moving on the level order, you're bound to reach the target. Like if you're reaching the target, it is bound to be the shortest. Okay, so a quick question. So by the way, thoda sa promotion. Sunday is at 10 o'clock is when I solve lead code weeklies. Lead code weeklies on Sundays. एंड ये सारे स्ट्रीम्स इंट्यूशन ऑल अप्रोचेस किसी का छापा हुआ अप्रोच नहीं होता है, सब अपना होता है, तो आके आराम से देखना लीड कोड वीकली, ठीक है। किसी और का स्ट्रीम देखोगे कोई, तो आज तो मैंने एक स्ट्रीम देखा जिस बंदा क्या गया बोला अल्टीमेट एसडी सीरीज और मेरे ही क्वेश्चन उठा के, मेरे एसडी शीट का क्वेश्चन उठा के शुरू कर दिया। भाई क्रेडिट दे दो यार, अगर सीरीज मतलब किसी का शीट आप उठा रहे हो क्वेश्चन, दिस इज हाईली अनएथिकल। किसी का आप सीरीज उठा रहे हो एंड अल्टीमेट एसडी सीरीज दे दे रहे हो, मतलब मेरा ही डे वन उठा के, विच इज वेरी वेरी बैड। तो वी विल बी सॉल्विंग दिस ऑन संडे, ठीक है। ओके कूल। Let's do the next question, which is again very important. What is this one? Rotting oranges. We will question पे थोड़ा discussion. No, I saw that. I saw that stream. I saw that stream for a while. It was fully copied, which I don't like. Even the examples that were used to explain the concepts were the examples that were in my take you forward video, which is not good. It's not good. Your teaching you should be unique. लाइक आई एम नॉट टीचिंग, मैं यहाँ पे पढ़ा रहा हूँ, मैं कैसे पढ़ा रहा हूँ रॉटिंग ऑरेंजेस, मैं क्या यूट्यूब खोल के किसी और का एग्जांपल लाके पढ़ा रहा हूँ, मेरे दिमाग में जो आ रहा है मैं पढ़ा दे रहा हूँ, राइट। So teaching is an art. Teaching is not copy pasting. It should not be done at any. आप आपको बनना है टीचर, बनो. It should be always yourself. And the worst thing is, even if you're teaching, you give the intuition. आप बस copy paste approach नहीं करना चाहिए. Like I saw the stream for 30 minutes. It was like step 1 ये करना है, step 2 ये करना है, step 3 करना है. अरे क्यों करना है बताओ यार. That is again which is very bad. Anyways, ये वाला क्वेश्चन देख लो. I think Bhavika is asking behavioral questions पे थोड़ा discussion. Oh sure. I'll give you one more behavioral question since you're asking it. Let me give you one more question. क्वेश्चन behavioral जो मेरे को पूछा गया था वो ये था, if in future you wish to switch and the other company is offering you a lot more but they want to join immediately, is the question. Let's see what's your answer. This is the question. Let's see what do you answer. If in future you wish to switch, and the other company is offering you a lot more, okay, but they want you to join immediately. We have a current project running, and if you leave, it won't be completed, and the company will be a huge losses. What will you do in such a case? I use good note. क्या करोगे? Will you leave? Or what will you do? But if you don't join immediately, other company they will revoke the offer letter. If you don't join the other company immediately, they will revoke the offer. Okay, I'm not leaving. ये यहाँ पे सब बोल रहे हैं अभी, यहाँ पे सब बोल रहे हैं, ठीक है। TCS में if you are doing a job, I'm giving an example. You're working at TCS एंड यू गॉट एन ऑफर फ्रॉम गूगल एंड गूगल सेज नहीं भाई 2 वीक में आना, नहीं तो फिर ऑफर ही हो। ये कितने लोग इधर हैं जो लोग फिर बोलेंगे नहीं मैं टीसीएस में काम करूंगा, गूगल नहीं जाऊंगा? हाउ मेनी आर देयर? ना हाउ मेनी आर देयर? दैट्स द क्वेश्चन दैट आई विल आस्क, व्हाट इफ इट्स टीसीएस एंड गूगल, व्हाट विल यू डू? सारे मतलब होशियार है, हम नहीं छोड़ेंगे मोरल, ये वो। अब बोलो, अब बोलो। अब गूगल भागोगे ना, अब भागोगे ना गूगल रन, नाइल नाइल रन, वेयर इज योर, वेयर इज योर मोरल नाउ? See, this is where you will be caught. Be honest, be honest with yourself. I This question is generally asked because people to be fake, people are like नहीं नहीं मैं तो नहीं छोड़ूंगा, मेरा moral बहुत हाई है, I'll not leave, don't worry. This is where you're caught, because be what you are. Tell them clearly. See, if I'm working here and I get a Google offer, then I'm definitely leaving. Uh, but yeah, if it's some startup, I might think before leaving. And the other thing that I can do is, so that the company does not bear huge losses, probably I can transfer the work. I will work 16, 17 hours a day. I will make sure that everything is transferred within a week to someone else. That is my first priority. Even if I could not do, if you want any external help, if you want any external help after I've gone, I am absolutely ready to help you till everything is not transferred. This is how you should always tackle these kind of questions. Don't be blunt कि भाई मैं छोड़ के भाग जाऊंगा. Don't be like नहीं भाई मैं तो नहीं छोड़ूंगा, मेरा मोरल बहुत है. Let's be blunt that see I will try my best to transfer. अगर नहीं भी होता है, externally I will be available to help you. This should be the answers. कैसा लगा ये आंसर सुन के? अब बताओ कैसा लगा ये आंसर सुन के, सच बताना. This is professionalism. You should answer like this. नहीं मैं भाग जाऊंगा, क्या है, समझ में आया कैसे करना है? How do you answer? Did you get this? This is how you should always answer. Okay, always be like crisp, clear and to the point. ठीक है, it should not feel bad, किसी को बुरा भी ना लगे और काम भी हो जाए अपना, समझ में आया? मैंने बोला था तुमने पढ़ा यार, इतने लोग बोल दिए यार, यहाँ मैं पिघल गया. Modern problems, modern solution. The answer will take you forward. Yeah. See, it's very important. See, you can't be blunt. Being blunt is good, but not at every stage. And honestly, if you face such a problem, you should always offer such. You should always be like, if you want any help, I'm always be there. But yeah, I understand. I have a family to run. I have to leave. But yeah, I will be there helping you out externally. That is my promise. Simple as that. Okay. नहीं नहीं, सारे क्वेश्चंस की कोई एडवाइस नहीं, ये क्वेश्चन मेरे से पूछा गया था तो मैंने बता दिया. This question was asked to me in one of the companies. I cannot disclose, but yeah, that is why I've just told you the question. These kind of questions will be asked in a lot of companies, and if you cannot answer these in a proper way, bye bye, tata, bye bye. Specifically in Amazon and Google, customer company culture बहुत माना जाता है, बहुत ज़्यादा, तो थोड़ा देख लेना ये सब चीज़ें. मानूंगा भी नहीं, बचाऊंगा भी नहीं. हाँ, एग्जैक्टली. हाउ टू बी गुड एट राइटिंग कोड. कोड लिखो, कोड हो जाओगे. Analytic A में, so these two questions you try out, rotting oranges and divide chocolate. आज मेरे को ऐसे थोड़ा पढ़ाने का मन नहीं था, बट मैंने सेशन ले लिया क्योंकि मेरा प्लान था. I just took up this session because I was not feeling well. I just took up 2 questions, and that's why I've written in the stuff last minute session. Ask me anything. Because I also discussed 3 questions, and I hope these 3 questions did help you. कुछ और क्वेश्चन है तो आप पूछ सकते हो. पेट भी भरना है, मोटा भी नहीं होना है. How did you think like this? Since honest approach would be to leave. I don't think it's an honest approach. The moment you start working in the company, it will come to you naturally. You will not be selfish. Because and for me, I am not selfish. The only reason is I have a YouTube channel which I run. I have some people working under me, like मेरे editors है, and there are a lot of other people. So I understand कि अगर वो कल छोड़ के चले गए तो मुझे दिक्कत होगा. तो you have to understand both the sides. एंड इसलिए मैं कभी, अगर मुझे कोई बोलता है कि यार हेल्प चाहिए, आज को मैं कंपनी छोड़ रहा हूँ तो कल को मुझे कोई कॉल करके बोलता है तेरा ये कोड में दिक्कत हो रहा था, ये कांट भी लाइक मैंने छोड़ दिया यार, भाड़ में जा. You should always be open, because दुनिया ना बहुत छोटी है. The world is very small. You might be leaving a company where the guy is your manager and you're going to some other company. तुमने आज उसको ठोकर मार के निकल गए, ठीक है? तुम जा रहे हो, 6 महीना बाद, साल बाद, 2 साल बाद, you might find the same guy. Yes, you might find the same guy over there being your manager. The world is very small. Remember this. Don't ever get into problems with anyone unless until कुछ different है. Specifically managers and senior level guys. आज यहाँ पे तुम हो, तुम जा सकते हो गूगल, तो वो कल तुम्हारे पीछे भी गूगल आ सकता है, फिर तो फेसबुक आ सकता है, अमेजन आ सकता है, वो भी आ सकता है, स्विगी भी, वो भी आ सकता है. अब आ गया, वो याद रखेगा भाई तू ही तो था ना, अब तुझे देखता हूँ, तब क्या कर लोगे. ठीक है, वर्ल्ड इज अ वेरी स्मॉल प्लेस. रिमेंबर दिस. Why direct eye questions are hard to find in it? Because they don't disclose, they keep changing it every time, that's why. I told you the answer. Harsh, congrats. अपडेटेड एसडी शीट क्या होता है? एसडी शीट खत्म करो यार, 190 क्वेश्चन बहुत होता है. अपडेटेड एसडी शीट, तो एसडी शीट नहीं हो रहा है, अपडेटेड. Yeah, it will shortest path in a grid with obstacle elimination. कहाँ का क्वेश्चन है, देख लेता हूँ. ऐसे आस्क मी एनीथिंग, कुछ भी पूछ सकते हो. I'll be till shortest path in a grid with obstacles elimination. Is this on lead code? I am not sure if I've done this question. No. Even you can move up, return the menu and work from upper left to eliminate atmosphere. It is not possible to find such work. Easy तो है. DP. अभी DP. Third parameter will be K. Third parameter in the queue will be K. In the third parameter, make sure you put a K. That's it. So if there's an obstacle, you just remove it and parameter में -1 कर दो. So if the parameter is greater than 0, keep on removing obstacles. What is? आ गया थर्ड. डीपी नहीं करना यार, थर्ड पैरामीटर की क्यू में डालो ना. थर्ड पैरामीटर ही कर रहा होगा, डिस्कस पे देख लेते हैं. थर्ड पैरामीटर ही कर रहा होगा, ये रहा n into m into k. हाँ, थर्ड पैरामीटर देख लो. बेफ सोल्यूशन में थर्ड पैरामीटर होगा. कहाँ है? पाइथन लिख दिया. पाइथन क्यों लिखता है ये लोग, मुझे पाइथन नहीं पसंद. ये देखो 3 पैरामीटर रखा है, एंड जैसे मैंने बोला एक कम कर देना जब टूट रहा होगा, तो एक कम कर दे रहा होगा. ये लोग कहाँ गया, कहाँ है. 3 पैरामीटर ही रखना, मतलब मैं कर दूंगा सवाल. Basically what you need to do is, see, you start at 0,0. How did you do the previous question? You started at 0,0, right? Now what you'll do is you'll say, okay, let's start at 0 0 k. Okay, so 0 0 k, saying at the starting I have k, I have the liberty to remove k, and जब एक obstacle हटा रहे हो, k को -1 करके q में डाल देने का, बस यही करना है. BFS ही तो हुआ ना, BFS with the third parameter. BFS with the third parameter ना, BFS with the third parameter. ठीक है. Is CP necessary for placements? CP is something which you should do in order to upskill yourself. If you think placement के लिए तो मत करो, SD sheet कर लो, काफी है. CP करो अगर तुम्हें लगता है कि तुम्हें कोडिंग में इतना अच्छा बन जाना है कि ये लीड कोड फिट कोड नहीं करना है, तब बाप लेवल बन जाना है कोडिंग में, तब सीपी को बहुत अच्छे से करना पड़ेगा. ऐसा भी नहीं कि इफ यू थी फेल दैट ओके आई विल डू सीपी फॉर 15 days, आई विल गेट ऑन. फॉर सीपी यू हैव टू ग्रिल फेल एंड ग्रिल. फेल करते रहो. वो एक धीरे धीरे इंटरनली चेंज आता रहेगा. इंटरनली द ब्रेन विल डेवलप, बट इट विल टेक टाइम. ठीक है. वंस यू डेवलप योर ब्रेन ना, लंबा रहेगा वो दिमाग, लंबा रहेगा. जैसे लीड कोड करने से क्या होता है, दिमाग थोड़ा सा कम टाइम के लिए अच्छा रहता है. जैसे मैंने सीपी बहुत पहले किया था, बट आज भी सी दिस क्वेश्चन वाज नॉट सॉल्व्ड. इफ यू सी, आई जस्ट सॉ द क्वेश्चन, आई सेट 3 पैरामीटर्स. व्हाई? बिकॉज आई वाज सो गुड इन, लाइक आई वाज नॉट सो गुड, बट आई वाज गुड इन सीपी दैट आई कैन, इफ यू गिव मी एनी रैंडम क्वेश्चन, आई कैन सी एंड से अच्छा इसको शायद ऐसे कर सकते हैं. समझ में आया? डीएफएस कर सकते हो. डीएफएस थर्ड पैरामीटर देखो, इफ यू डू डीएफएस, इफ यू डू बीएफएस, डज नॉट मैटर. मेक श्योर द मिनिमम ऑफ ऑल. Third parameter will be there, k obstacles. K obstacles के लिए third parameter will be there, no matter what you do. Why are not able to solve questions on code forces? Again, give all the contest and don't complain not able to solve. यहाँ पे नॉट एबल टू सॉल्व की जगह वहां जाके सॉल्व करो. एक सॉल्व करोगे तो ज्यादा कॉन्फिडेंस मिलेगा. मैं कुछ अलग नहीं बताने वाला हूँ. प्रैक्टिस, द ओनली आंसर इज प्रैक्टिस. देयर इज नो अदर ऑप्शन. किसी का कोर्स कुछ ऐसा नहीं होता अच्छा, मतलब कोई भी कोर्स आ जाए, जब तक तुम खुद नहीं करते हो प्रैक्टिस, you can't do CP unless until you do minimum of 50 to 70 contests. If you look at my college, I'll show you a graph. पता नहीं तुमने ये देखा है कि नहीं, शायद देखा ही होगा. प्राइवेट कोड फोर्सेस मैंने बोला. यहाँ पे देखो, मैं यहाँ पे एक चीज़ दिखाता हूँ. प्राइवेट कोड फोर्सेस गया हूँ. मेरे कॉलेज में ना एक बंदा है. उस बंदे का ना तुम्हें इंस्पिरेशन देता हूँ. तो बहुत कॉन्टेस्ट दिख रहे हो, इस बंदे ने कितना कॉन्टेस्ट किया एक बार देखो. लुक एट द नंबर ऑफ कॉन्टेस्ट दैट ही हैज डन. 256 contests. He's almost, no one is even near to him. Like I also did at max, I think 140 or 150. I did 142. He has done 256 contests. He does not misses a contest in any of the days. And look at this. Look at this. कहाँ था ये? देखो. See. ये 100 कॉन्टेस्ट तक तो नीचे ही था, पीपल में था. And then he started. अभी भी वापस आया पीपल में. देखो यहाँ पे स्पेशलिस्ट बना है. कैंडिडेट मास्टर से फिर स्पेशलिस्ट भी बना है. And look at the number of problems. This is how you grow. You don't grow by randomly doing like, बहुत लोग क्या होंगे ना, यहाँ तक करेंगे, यहाँ तक करके छोड़ देंगे. They leave after this. See, there are people who are naturally talented who will be like, यहाँ से यहाँ पहुंच जाएंगे. Those are naturally gifted guys. But if you are not gifted, then you have to be this much effort. Like इतना effort डालना पड़ेगा अच्छा बनने के लिए. Got this? कोई question? पहला बात तो स्ट्राइवर, तूने लॉजिक कैसे बढ़ाया? तूता करके बात करने से मैं रिप्लाई नहीं करने वाला. एंड मैं आप लोग को इज्जत दे रहा हूँ तो आप भी दो ना यार. आई डोंट लाइक तूतास, टू बी वेरी ऑनेस्ट. इफ यू स्पीक इन इंग्लिश इट्स ओके. तू मुझे पसंद नहीं है. क्या ही क्रैक्ड Amazon. He cracked Amazon recently. He got see, look at the effort, man. Look at the effort. ऐसा अभी भी कर ही रहा होगा. ये देख ऑनलाइन ना नवंबर राइट तो 11:35 times 11:53 now. Look at the try. Wrong answer, then accept it. So yeah, you have to work hard. Then only you'll be able to. Otherwise इतना easy तो नहीं है कि ऐसा फटाफट हो जाएगा. Got this? What Diwali gift you got? No, I did not get. I did resign, तो मेरे पास तो कुछ आया नहीं. शायद रिजाइन नहीं करता तो आता, पता नहीं. अभी भी क्यों कर रहे हैं? मैं नहीं कर रहा हूँ, मेरे पास टाइम नहीं है. टू बी वेरी ऑनेस्ट, बॉडी नहीं है, मतलब अब उतना प्रैक्टिस भी नहीं है कि सीपी करूँ. एंड सीपी के लिए यार 8 बजे कॉन्टेस्ट होता है. यू हैव टू बी फ्रेश एनफ. एंड ऑफिस करने के बाद यू आर नॉट फ्रेश एनफ. तो एंड एक बार प्रैक्टिस छूट जाता है, मतलब हर दिन कॉन्टेस्ट करो तो अलग प्रैक्टिस रहता है. महीने में 2 कॉन्टेस्ट करके कोई फायदा नहीं है. इसलिए मैं लीड कोड करता हूँ. थोड़ा सा ईजी भी होता है, मतलब कंपेरेटिवली टू सीपी. सीपी में यार काफ़ी एग्जॉस्टिव हो जाता है. दैट्स व्हाई आई डोंट डू. बट या आई लुक एट द क्वेश्चन स्टिल. आई थिंक आई जस्ट वेरीफाई सही सोच रहा हूँ कि नहीं. बस इतना ही करता हूँ. आई डोंट सबमिट, बट आई लुक एट द क्वेश्चंस. आई थिंक एंड आई डू लुक एट अ लॉट ऑफ क्वेश्चंस. जब मुझे कभी सेगमेंट ट्री पढ़ना है तो मैं देखता रहता हूँ. अभी भी पढ़ता हूँ. You look at someone yesterday at Telegram said me Aho-Cohares algorithm. So I was looking at that algorithm yesterday itself. So if someone says me कि कुछ ऐसा है जो मुझे नहीं आता. अभी कुछ दिन पहले मैंने DP on trees बहुत अच्छे से पढ़ाई किया. So I was doing a lot of CSS problems the other day. So yeah, you just keep on doing जो पसंद है. अभी मैं क्वेश्चंस लेता हूँ, फिर मैं खत्म कर लूँगा, ठीक है. Amazon के लिए क्या करना पड़ेगा? SD sheet कुछ नहीं. Hey, I'm 30 years old and I'm willing to learn coding, and how much time I could crack some good product? I can give 2 hours max per day. I'm a big fan if after your scalar video. 2 hours per day, I think that's a very less amount. I think you should, if you know basic coding, you should start off with the SD sheet. I think that should be a very good one to start off with. What's the story behind your profile pic on Code Forces? It's just a normal one. I loved it. कौन सा कंपनी में अभी तक इंटरव्यू दिया? I have given interviews in couple of companies. It's among the Manga Group के 2 companies में इंटरव्यू दिया है. During your 4 years, how many questions approx did you solve, including all platforms? I think it should be 1200 to 1300. That is what I did. I think on lead code I have done. I'm not sure how many I've done. I think I've done 350, 360. On lead code I've done 370. On code forces 700. On code chef I think 200, 300. That is what I've done. I've done a lot of code forces. How many questions I need to solve to qualify the Amazon interview? 2 out of 2. All. 2 out of 2. All. Okay. 2 out of 2. All. नोटिस पीरियड पे आप तब होते हो जब आप रेजिग्नेशन देते हो, तो इसलिए मैं हूँ. इस वीक रेज्यूमे रिव्यू होगा या फिर मॉक इंटरव्यू होगा या फिर क्या होगा पता नहीं. लास्ट दिन ही मैं डिसाइड करता हूँ. अगर किसी इफ एनीवन इज इंटरेस्टेड टू गिव अ मॉक इंटरव्यू, you can reach out to me at my Instagram handle, which goes by the name Striver_79. Just reach out to me. I'll schedule a mock interview for you. Given that you are in 4th year, or you should have done a good amount of lead code. My age is how much is my? I think it's 24 running. 24 running 25. Honest reason for leaving Mnet. अब बता दूंगा बाद में. Everyone moves to a better place. That's why I'm given the resignation. You did not do Hackarat, no. I did do CSS, but at the later half, not so much. Which all sites did you give contest? I gave majorly code forces. Nothing else apart from code forces. Like if you look at my graph, it was kind of like only code forces. Yeah, only code forces. Like I have been like when I was doing, I did give all the contests. I look at this when I was giving every contest. I gave every contest. हर दिन कुछ भी होता था फर्क नहीं पड़ता. This is when I left. Because this day I got Amazon internship. तो पूरा पार्टी वार्टी में मैंने फिर कुछ नहीं किया. मैं बहुत थका हुआ था इस मोमेंट पे. यहाँ तक मैं बहुत थक गया था एक्चुअली. Because I was kind of doing from the second year. I was very tired. I left. And this you can see is on December 15. Yeah, this is when I went for Amazon intern interview. December 15. ये पता है December 15 को मेरा सेमेस्टर एग्जाम था, तब भी मैंने दिया. एंड उससे पहले दिसंबर ये देखो December 14 को भी मेरा सेमेस्टर्स था. November 24 को भी शायद Amazon का इंटरव्यूज वगैरह था. मैं हमेशा देता था ऑलवेज. And this is when I came back. This is a date when it is, I think, I don't remember the day. It's April 23. I opened my YouTube channel, so I started making editorials. I was doing all contests. I was just making editorials. The last contest I gave on, I think, June 4, because that was the time I was going to join media.net. So full time फिर शुरू हुआ. I just left because I came back to be a candid master. I always dreamt of being a candid master, but I could not. तो थोड़ा सा फिर ब्रेक लेके मैं वापस आके I went in to become a candid master, and then I left because I joined media.net, and then वो ऐसा ही था मेरा वाला. Anyways, आगे बताते हैं. और क्या क्वेश्चन है बताओ. सिस्टम डिजाइन के लिए यू कैन फॉलो गौरव से. हिज वीडियोस आर गुड. यू आर द शाहरुख खान ऑफ द कोड. नहीं. एप्पल के लिए एसडी शीट के लिए make sure you do LLDs a lot, like low level designs, like designing a parking lot, designing a WhatsApp, designing a book my show, designing all these kind of WhatsApp. Make sure you do those low level designs for design questions. For high level like system design के लिए उतना नहीं पूछता है. If you go through this is one educative का बहुत अच्छा course है system design का. You can go through that. System design के लिए मैं वहाँ से पढ़ता हूँ. Like it's a very good course. System design का अगर देखोगे, ये नहीं, grokking का है ये वाला. It's very good. It's very well written. If you want like इसको चेकआउट कर लेना. Grokking the system design. पता नहीं कैसे, मतलब ये बहुत अच्छे से लिखा हुआ है. Like you just go through them. It's written very well, very well written. All of these, if you just study, you will not find videos, but if you just study, it's wonderful. Like it's written amazingly well. Trust me, I personally have read this. बहुत ज़्यादा कॉन्सेप्ट क्लियर होगा. वीडियोस पे उतना हम लोग डिपेंडेंट नहीं रहते. Once you join the job, you will not be watching videos, because then you start reading a lot of documentation. So system design का documentation पढ़ के समझ सकते हो. Which is better bro, hacker rank और lead code यार, any day. थर्ड ईयर में सीपी करूँ, अभी पीपल हो. सीपी को एज अ हॉबी करो. बाद बाकी प्रैक्टिस के लिए लीड कोड करो. सीपी एज अ हॉबी लाइक कॉन्टेस्ट हो रहा है, चलो देते हैं. इट शुड बी लाइक दैट. कॉन्ग्रेचुलेशंस फॉर गेटिंग इन. अभी तक हुआ नहीं है भाई, कहीं गए ही नहीं हूँ. पहले कॉन्ग्रेचुलेशंस होने तो दो ब्रो. जबरदस्ती ब्रांच कोडिंग राउंड के लिए कहाँ से करे प्रैक्टिस? कोडिंग राउंड के लिए कहाँ से प्रैक्टिस कर? कोडिंग राउंड्स के लिए स्पेसिफिकली ट्राई टू लाइक आई ऑलवेज यूज टू डू दिस व्हेन आई वाज इन माय थर्ड ईयर. आई ऑलवेज यूज टू डू दिस. आई विल ऑलवेज गिव अ टिप. गो भैया, जस्ट यहाँ पे जाओ. यहाँ पे जो भी हायर तो ना हो. कहाँ है यहाँ पे? अरे यहाँ पे पूरा नया चेंज कर दिया गया इन्होंने. यहाँ पे ना बहुत हायरिंग कॉन्टेस्ट होता है, पता नहीं कहाँ है. हायरिंग कॉन्टेस्ट होता है जॉब्स में. Go to the job section. Whatever hiring contest happens, na, keep participating. No matter if you're eligible or not, keep participating. Do this for 1 year. You'll get an idea about what kind of questions are asked, and you will also be practice. And if you're giving like Amazon, abhi tumhara Amazon hai, so Amazon online assessment questions. ऐसे लिखो. Have like this. So you see people making videos. पूरा ही मतलब videos तो गलत ही होगा, पता नहीं. बहुत लोग गाइड भी बेकार बना के लगे. बहुत बार ऐसे पढ़ सकते हो, बहुत सारे क्वेश्चंस मिल जाते हैं. तो जनरली आई यूज टू डू दिस. भैया टी शर्ट्स बनाओ टीयूएफ फैन के लिए. बना लेंगे यार. यार सीपी का क्या जरूरत है? अमेजन तो मैं सुबह मुझे 4 बजे उठाओगे, माइक्रोसॉफ्ट फ्लिपकार्ट तो मुझे सुबह 3 बजे उठाना, मैं बिना पढ़े क्रैक कर लूंगा. आई डोंट नीड टू स्टडी. अमेजन माइक्रोसॉफ्ट क्रैकिंग इज नॉट टफ. दैट इज व्हाट आई पर्सनली फील. इफ यू आर गुड इन सीपी, अमेजन माइक्रोसॉफ्ट इज इजी. लाइक उनका लेवल बहुत गिर गया, स्पेसिफिकली अमेजन माइक्रोसॉफ्ट का. the level of questions that they are asking nowadays are very very easy. वही रिपीटेड क्वेश्चंस यार, वही क्वेश्चंस बार बार पूछते हैं, वही शॉर्टेस्ट पाथ. तो आई डोंट थिंक इट्स अ वेरी लाइक आज के जनरेशन में आई थिंक अमेजन इज वेरी लाइक अच्छा है. आई एम नॉट सेइंग इट्स बैड, बट इट्स नॉट कि हाँ बंदा तोड़ था बोल के हो गया. यू कैन नॉट गिव दैट टैग कि बंदा तोड़ था. या पढ़ा था, कोडिंग अच्छी, ये बोल सकते हो. बंदा तोड़ था अमेजन हुआ, ये आई थिंक दिस विल नॉट बी अ जस्टिस. This could have been before 3-4 years, but not now. That's what's my personal opinion. Again, don't make a shorts and put somewhere. CGPA matters for Amazon. Yeah, 7+ CGPA. पहले तो मेरे टाइम पे तो CSE IT अलाउ करते थे. अब पता नहीं कितना करेंगे. What is the specific skill required for HFT? पता नहीं. अरे यार इतने सारे क्वेश्चंस क्यों आ रहे हैं? यूबर के लिए टॉपिक्स दे दो. टॉपिक्स देखो कुछ नहीं होते स्पेसिफिकली. You do DSA, that's it. I'm very very skeptical about people asking Amazon कैसे क्रैक होगा, माइक्रोसॉफ्ट कैसे. अरे ये कंपनी अलग थोड़ी है भाई. ये डीएसए राउंड ही तो होता है. ये क्या अमेजन के कैसे होगा, यूबर कैसे होगा? अरे डीएसए अच्छा करो. डीएसए अगर तुम्हारा इतना अच्छा है अमेजन होगा, इतना अच्छा है गूगल होगा, इतना और अच्छा और कुछ होगा. अब ये क्या है कितना मतलब इसके कुछ ऐसा स्केल लेके मेजर करो क्या? इतना 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 इसके लिए अलग ऐसा कुछ नहीं होता है. कॉमन क्वेश्चंस कह सकते हो बट टॉपिक तो सेम ही है यार. डीएसए भाई. MBA versus SDC. You do an MBA when you are not willing to code. You're moving to management. बस कॉलेज बंदों में क्या होता है ना प्रॉब्लम, दे आर लाइक ओ भाई 4 साल बीटेक 2 साल MBA लाइफ सेट. ऐसा नहीं होता. इफ यू आर एंजॉइंग कोडिंग व्हाई विल यू डू MBA? तो है कि क्या बोलोगे, हे हाउ मच पैकेज विल यू टेक? ये फोन करोगे, फोन कॉल करके लोगों को नेगोशिएट करोगे, या फिर बोलोगे यार कंटेंट मैनेज करोगे कहीं जाके MBA बन के, या फिर कुछ और करोगे. जो पसंद है वो करो. अगर तुम्हें मैनेजमेंट पसंद है, मैनेजमेंट कैन बी एनीथिंग, then go and do an MBA. Just don't do an MBA because it looks super cool. There's no need, right? It depends. If you're willing to be a management person, do an MBA. What is this SD versus Amazon? That is on your choice, man. I'm someone who absolutely loves coding. I'll never go to management. So for me, it's like simple enough. For you, ask yourself, why are you asking me? How much hours? Hours नहीं होता यार, सबका डिफरेंट hours होता है. भैया गूगल यूबर वगैरह के लिए बता. अरे फिर आ गया वही क्वेश्चन. अब ठीक है आज का हो गया और नहीं लूंगा मैं क्वेश्चन. मेरा इधर थोड़ा सा प्रॉब्लम है. आई एम स्टार्टिंग टू गेटिंग अ लॉट ऑफ पेन नाउअडेज अगेन. तो इधर थोड़ा प्रॉब्लम है. आई विल नॉट take any more questions. So I hope you enjoyed the session. Let's make it 400 likes before I go. Let's make it 400 likes. Come on. Let's make it 400 likes. बस गुड नाइट लिखो. अब सब गुड नाइट लिखो. ओके ना. फ्लैटनिंग ऑफ अ लिंक लिस्ट इज देयर इन माय टेक यू फॉरवर्ड. अब सब गुड नाइट लिखो. बस गुड नाइट. अब गुड नाइट. हो गया, क्वेश्चन नहीं ले रहा हूँ मैं, नॉट टेकिंग एनी अदर क्वेश्चंस, नॉट टेकिंग एनी अदर क्वेश्चंस। हैव अ गुड नाइट, गुड नाइट, गुड नाइट, गुड नाइट, गुड नाइट, जस्ट गुड नाइट, जस्ट गुड नाइट, जस्ट गुड नाइट। ओके, गुड नाइट। लेट्स मीट सैटरडे, if possible Saturday I'll keep ask me anything, Saturday I'll keep ask me anything, ठीक है, because I see a lot of people having a lot of doubts, so Saturday I'll keep ask me anything, चलेगा? उस दिन पूछ लेना जितना पूछना है, 1 घंटा मैं ज्ञान दे दूंगा जितना देना है, फिर संडे आके लीड कोड करेंगे। ओके, बाय, गुड नाइट, सब गुड नाइट लिख दो, टाटा। मैं भी अभी मैं क्या करूँगा, कुछ नहीं करूँगा, मैं सो जाऊँगा, थक गया आज बहुत। ट्राई सीरीज का 2 वीडियो रिकॉर्ड किया ना, तो 2 वीडियो बहुत लंबा था, 40-40 मिनट के थे, तो मेरा गला बहुत सूखा हुआ है, तो मैं जाता हूँ, सोता हूँ, चलो बाय।